component I have.
Hello. I don't have to be that quiet because the door is closed. But hello, I'm here. Oops, sorry, I forgot to do this. Hopefully the YouTube chat is up. Yeah, it should be. Okay, we're good. Hello. Happy Wednesday. I know I'm not normally on a Wednesday, but because I took Monday off, I gotta be on today. I also have apparently acquired this random cough. So if I cough during the video, I apologize in advance. Can't control it. I'll try and mute when I can, but it is Wednesday, my dude. Yeah, it's supposed to be my day off, but because I just realized I have Vtuber. Because I didn't stream on Monday because I wasn't feeling good, I gotta do it quickly today. So I'll be feeling better soon. It's just a random cough. I feel fine otherwise, but appropriate to cough when smelling the Skaven. Skaven kind will triumph, succeed over puny man things. Yes, yes. Oh no. I have a sneaking suspicion I'm in for a lot of chaos. But yeah, as far as updates go, I know I was on Twitch yesterday, so I don't have too much to report on, but it has been a rough day with BB, and I'm hoping today is a bit more gentle because she is just not having it. She is not having it at all. Will feel better. Yeah, no, it's just a random cough. I don't know if it's because like the air is really dry, so I probably should put on like my humidifier. Oh, all right. I should probably fill it with water. I need to put this in the bedroom, which is what I need to do. Poor BB. Yeah, she was like fussy all night long. It was really bad. I couldn't even sleep for the first part until like I guess she just like tired and tuckered herself out because she was just not having it. Lurking because I'm running around today, but hi, I hope you're well. Yeah, I'm doing good, Shamar. I hope you have a good rest of your day too. Hope the running around goes well. Generally might be yes. Wait, huh? Nefarious machines of clad pestilence at work. What? It's being a rough day. Guess what my car did again? No way, Edom. It's been like a day. It hasn't even been 24 hours, Edom. Being me too at War Boss? Oh no. Fun fact, the frog used for it is Wednesday meme is called a budget's frog, also known as the hippo frog. They're kind of like Pac-Man frogs. They're gluttons. That's kind of cute. Did it explode? You're at this point, I feel like you should bring the car to the mechanic and be like, you guys need to like fix it for free because like that's crazy. Because that's like not okay. That just keeps breaking every other day. Ugh, I gotta refill my water at some point, Edom, is your car related to your and Tetris TV or something? Do you have a Dawn that's just randomly attacking your car at every chance you get? Always coming in with the fun facts. Appreciate you. Yeah, fun facts. I didn't even know there was a Pac-Man type frog. But yeah, today's gonna kind of be like a shorter stream because I just have the 2 videos, and then I'm gonna pretty much go and hang out with BB, and hopefully she's like not as fussy today, which is funny because like we were looking it up and we're like, oh man, babies are so fussy, and they're like, oh, babies are the most fussy from this point, and we're like, oh, so it's only gonna get worse. Always happy to share facts when I could, whether it's animals or Monster Hunter related. I'm here for it. Oh, I like Monster Hunter. Hi Cot, sorry I'm late. I can't believe it, Dolphins. I'm docking your pay. You get paid 4 cents an hour now. It's totally fine, Dolphins, don't worry. I was almost late too because I literally was making myself like a leftover sandwich because my dad made meatloaf the other day, and I was like, I'm just gonna take a piece of meatloaf, slap it on a slice of bread, put some potato, get some cheese, and call it a day, and it'll be like a mashed potato meatloaf sandwich. And it was terrible because it was cold. He gets paid. No, I wish I could pay the mods. I wish I could. I don't make that much. 4 cents more than me. Good for you, Dolphins. We got Dolphins a maid outfit, so like that's kind of cool. Thought it was just paid in fish. Yeah, and no, free rent. It's free rent, that's what it is. Dolphins gets a free little puddle in the basement, okay? Which is a lot, because I don't just bring water into the basement. You know what I mean? Many blessings thanks to the horned rat god thing. Yes, we scare and run and oh. That's terrifying. I mean, that sounds like the Skaven, though. Not caught paying mods like Bretonian peasants. I wish I had the money to pay the mods. I would. Paid an exposure, but is the puddle also bleached? No! What am I trying to, like, delete dolphins? No. Do not the puddle? Yeah, that's Dolphin's little puddle. Leave him alone. Free walk-on candy? Yeah, you guys get fed and you get free rent. Imagine not having to pay rent in this economy. Imagine. Also, hi, Pen. We're gonna watch a video about rats today. The Skaven. That's your people, Pen. That's your people. The rats. Puddle water hurts my eyes. Send help. What do you mean the puddle water hurts your eyes? Why would I hurt my mods? That'd be like counterintuitive. That'd be so silly. I just want a house. God, yeah, I feel that. Houses are too expensive. Too expensive. Which is kind of like sad. Guys, I do want to say, let's not spoil the video. Okay, I know we're excited, but let's be calm. Yeah, that's another thing. I mean, we're gonna watch the Amber video first, and then we'll go to the rats. But it's gonna be kind of relatively quick today because I want to yap a little bit. But you're putting chlorine in your dolphin pool SMH? No, let's just wait. Are dolphins in salt water? Yeah, dolphins gotta be in salt water, right? Warpstone asked a very important question. What if, Cheap rent makes me understand people living in net cafes in Japan, not gonna lie. Honestly, yeah, or why people still live with family. It's like crazy. What crimes, rat? Anyways, prepare to spam Skaven. They are, unless it's yeah. So I just put salt in the puddle. It's fine. Dolphins is fine. That's how they get their electrolytes or something. I don't know. Both are. There's also freshwater dolphins. All right, dolphins. Are you freshwater or saltwater dolphin? I'm kind of glad I get paid for modding. It'd just be a weird cyclical effect where me and the streamer pass money back and forth and give Twitch a cut each time. That's so bad, Wisdom. Oh my god. Almost done with work. Gotta hurry up. Oh, I'm sorry, Rum. I forgot this isn't normal time. Don't worry. Normally, I won't be on this time slot. It's just because Monday I didn't feel good. And then today's our day off. So we gotta get a bunch of stuff done. Like laundry's gonna get done today. Dishes gonna get done today. Hang out with the baby today. There are also river dolphins in the Amazon. Dolphins can live in a river? From his picture, I believe he's a saltwater one. Okay, here we go. Oh yeah, we reached 10K. I forgot. Yeah. Can't ask a dolphin that. The indecency of it shocks me. Oh no. Just came back on her cheap rent. Could not relate to living with my dad because rent in Warsaw could eat half your paycheck. Rent is expensive. Recovery-wise, you doing okay? Yeah, I'm doing good. Honestly, people in most cultures in the world live with their family well into adulthood. We're kind of living in the high life thing was normal, affordable to not do that. I technically kind of sort of still live with family, so it's fine. I'm gonna buy snacks. I'll be back for the rats. Okay, Pen, get good snacks. Get some cheese. The dolphin has confirmed it. Saltwater, the freshwater ones are small. But what if you're a freshwater dolphin? What if you don't know? What if you don't know? True pollution, Sag. I can't believe Rom's missing all this gamer time because he's at work. SMH my head. All right, I'm gonna actually get set up because there's so much we have to do today, and I want to make sure I get all of it done. There's a lot of poopy things I gotta scrub today. Me no small like cod. Yeah, well, how do I know? Aren't freshwater dolphins also pink? Pink? The Amazon dolphins look like the spot. Oh, that's not fun. All right, let's switch over to the video. I gotta turn off my music. Pause that. It's gonna be, oh, well, that's cool. Okay, well, hopefully the audio is good already. It seems really loud. Maybe that's just me. So pink equals small. Yeah, checks out. Have you know my hair on the Vtuber model is white. It's not pink. It has a pink hue, but it's different. Okay, so is this loud already? That seems really loud. No?
Jewelry store. The last thing you're expecting is to find a corpse in your purchase. But
is that too loud or is that good? I never even thought about trying to purchase amber though. No way I use already know I'm gonna like the vid pog. Yeah, let's go. Amazon river dolphins, also called pink river dolphins, because their skin, they start out gray and they grow to become a pink color. That's awesome. Volume's good though. Everything seems kind of pog. Because then we'll start. I'll do like a little mini intro and then we'll start the video. That's good. Okay, it seems loud on my end, but as long as it's good on your end, then it's fine. Because I don't have to edit it in the video. Flamingos are white and turn pink as well. What the? Things just turn pink? What the? That's kind of cool. All right, so today we're watching the most bizarre creatures ever found in amber. I don't. Oh, it might be a tad loud. All right, let me lower it a little bit then.
When you go to a jewelry store,
is that better?
The last thing you're expecting is to find a corpse in your purchase. But if you're buying amber,
I know there's already going to be insects in here. That seems a lot better, right? If you lower maybe like 10%. Okay, a little bit more.
When you go to a jewelry store, the last thing you're expecting is to find a corpse in your purchase.
Good. Is that better? I think that's about 10%. Great. Okay, we also have to remember to double check the next video when I do it as well. There's a bunch of amber mine in Poland, so you can get a big chunk for pocket change. It looks so pretty. I think amber's really pretty. Could be a bit higher volume. Oh no, that sounds good. What is it? Is it loud? Is it too quiet? Is it too loud? I don't know. I'm hearing different things. I wish I could like. Hold on. Wait, maybe if I do this. Boop.
When you go to a jewelry store,
is this
the
better?
Last thing you're expecting is to find a corpse in your purchase.
A corpse in your purchase. The volume, Mason, what does it mean? What does it mean? How do I know? What is a boy Timmy stuck in a well? Amber used to be hugely valued in the Bronze Age. In fact, allowed development of Bronze Age culture in Scandinavia. Neat. Okay, let me restart with the intro. So today we are watching the most bizarre creatures ever found in amber. I don't really know too much about amber. I know there's like lots of bugs and stuff in it, and I think poop. Maybe poop. Fossils, maybe. I'm not sure. So we're gonna learn a lot today. I'm very excited, and let's go.
When you go to a jewelry store, the last thing you're expecting is to find a corpse in your purchase. But if you're buying amber, that's a real risk. And I mean that literally. Pick up a piece of amber, and there's a chance.
Lizards? Okay, wait, so when you're buying amber jewelry, they don't take anything out? They just kind of leave it in there? Okay.
Albeit small, that you're holding an ancient crime scene in your hand. Maybe it's
Oh.
a spider about to
Ah.
pounce on its prey. Maybe it's termites caught in a prehistoric flash flood of tree gunk. Or maybe, if you're really lucky, it's something nobody's ever seen before. Some bizarre creature that only was found because one day, millions of years ago, it zigged when it should have zagged. And before you ask, no, we cannot extract DNA from these things and make dinosaurs. I know, Jurassic Park lied to us, as despite DNA...
Jurassic Park lied to us? No, I know. I know they brought dinosaurs back to life with Amber in that one documentary. Thank you, Apocalypse. Taken out would destroy the Amber, I assume? Oh, I didn't even think about that.
DNA being relatively stable compared to other organic molecules, the oldest genetic material ever discovered was only from 2 million years ago, with a theoretical maximum lifespan of just 6.8 million years under absolutely perfect conditions. And so most amber is way older than that.
Oh.
I mean, the amber from the age of dinosaurs is pushing 66 million years at a minimum. So that DNA is about as intact as a snowball in hell. But here's the thing.
Okay.
What amber actually preserves is in some sense way more interesting than anything Hollywood came up with. We're talking about real snapshots of life from up to hundreds of millions of years ago. And this includes things that we never ever thought we'd find, going all the way from terrifying to absolutely groundbreaking scientifically. Now, you might...
I want to pause on a lot of them, but I don't want to pause on the bugs because they kind of gross me out. Half-life DNA is too short to be useful, sadly. That's so upsetting. I mean, it's good in a way because you kind of don't want to, you know, like recreate everything that's in the amber, but at the same time, like it's kind of stinky. You know, Skaven one is after this. Amber was a major trade commodity in the Baltic Sea, Poland is one of the major amber exporters. I never even thought about amber, to be honest. It'd be kind of crazy. It was not a documentary for either that or communicating with another dimension or timeline. Apocalypse wouldn't lie on the internet like that. Had me examine prehistoric archaeology yesterday. The amber trade was discussed. Ooh, literally good timing then.
might be thinking amber is just fossilized tree sap, right? Well, if you are, that's wrong. Because it's not sap, it's instead resin. And that might sound pedantic, but there's actually a massive difference here. You see, sap is what flows through a tree like blood, so to speak, carrying nutrients up and down. While resin, on the other hand, is what oozes out when something goes wrong. It's basically the tree's emergency response system, and only certain trees have it. Mainly conifers, but also some flowering plants. And here's how it works. When an insect drills into the bark, a branch snaps in a storm, or a fungus attacks, the tree starts pumping out this thick, sticky compound.
So they can't even get the sap or amber from a lot of trees. So it's really, really niche, like small amounts, I'm supposing.
And this stuff is loaded with chemicals called terpenes, which smell medicinal and taste somewhere between awful and straight up toxic. Which is exactly the point, as the resin is meant to seal wounds and drive off insects and microbes before they can do any more damage. So you can basically think of it as nature's combination of superglue, bug spray, and a tar trap rolled into one. But here's where things get interesting. When this resin drips down, it doesn't just disappear. As if the conditions are right, meaning it doesn't get washed away by rain, trampled by animals, or eaten by something brave enough to try it, it starts to harden. Because when the volatile compounds in it evaporate, the remaining molecules link together in longer and longer chemical chains, making it stable.
Yeah,
and if given enough time, and by enough, I mean at least tens of thousands of years, and then combined with pressure from the sediment above, which has now buried it, and heat from below, this one sticky tree defense...
Oh my gosh, Dawn in the background is playing. Dawn, stop. Dawn, watch the amber. She's being crazy, I'm sorry. Use birch resin as a band-aid substitute in scouts? Really? That's kind of cool. Apocalypse is trustworthy. They gave me this rock that scares away whales, and I haven't seen any whales in my puddle, so it works. Amuses the forbidden rock candy. Yeah, it kind of does look like a snack, right? Even like it kind of looks like dehydrated like peaches or mango or something like that. I would take that and be like, pop. Yeah, cooked sugar. This is really cool. I didn't know any of this stuff.
becomes something incredibly strong, fossilized resin, also known as
shiny
amber. And calling this stuff tough is the understatement of the century, as it can survive for hundreds of millions of years without breaking down. Which is why we have amber from the Carboniferous period, despite it occurring 300 million years ago. So to put that into perspective, we have amber that's not only older than flowers and dinosaurs, but also the literal Atlantic Ocean. And so, unsurprisingly, with an existence this long, amber isn't exactly rare, with major deposits having been found all over the world, with each location telling its own story. For instance, the Baltic region is famous for its amber, that's about 45 million years old. The Dominican Republic has amber mainly from around 15 to 20 million years ago. And then
Different stages of amber. Let's go. Resin only makes for really good natural glue. I mean, it seems like it would be very adhesive. Looks like pop rocks to me. I don't think they're popping though. Looks like raisins made from green grapes. It's not as wrinkly though. Not as wrinkly. There's something I read. Well, not amber related, but I was a little back in middle school. I once found a fossilized leaf while running back track during PE. What? That would be so. I wish I could find stuff like that. I think it's interesting, but I don't think I'd want to stare at like bugs and stuff. Leaves would be cool, or like, stuff like that, and I just stare at it. But bugs would creep me out.
Myanmar has deposits that are roughly
Also, wonder what it tastes like. They said it tasted like chemically and not good. Yeah, do not the amber.
100 million years old, right from the middle of the Cretaceous. And the oldest piece of amber ever found? Well, that came from Illinois and was dated to 320 million years ago.
Was from Illinois? Okay, interesting.
Back when the biggest predators on land were giant amphibians and millipedes longer than Shaq is tall. However, that being said, the oldest amber with actual creatures trapped inside doesn't show up until a bit later, with the earliest found thus far having come from late Triassic Italy, dating to around 230 million years ago, meaning around the same time as the first dinosaurs.
Let's go.
And I know what you're thinking. What incredible prehistoric monster did they find? Well, drumroll please.
Bug?
It was mites.
Ew.
Mites and a fly. But wait, before you sigh in disappointment, let me explain why these aren't just any mites and fly. The mites are extinct 230 million year old specimens named Triassicaris fidele and Amphizoa triassica. Well,
I cannot pronounce these things even though he just said it. They're micrometers? Okay. Family member once found an ammonite on the beach. Let's go. Illinois mentioned. Thank you, Biotech. Small ones? Yeah, of course it would be something really itty-bitty baby and tiny. Feeling cute might fly.
Well, the fly was an amatoceran, meaning it might have been a distant ancestor to mosquitoes. Which also just goes to say that even hundreds of millions of years ago, nature was already working on ways to ruin the outdoors. Now, the reason the fly has no name is because it was very poorly preserved, but the mites, incredibly preserved, despite being only 0.2 millimeters or 1/128th of an inch. In other words, smaller than a pinhead. And yet, even with their tiny sizes, we can still make out incredible detail. Not just their segmented bodies, but even the fine annuli encircling their abdomens, the structure of their mouth parts, and the delicate feather claws in their legs.
Look how, literally well preserved is crazy considering how tiny this is. Yeah, I reached 10K. We're now 10K on YouTube. Let's go. Don't go near a wounded pine tree. You might get trapped in resin. Caught. Wouldn't get trapped in resin. I wouldn't. Almost as short as that's messed up. I knew you guys would make a small joke. It's kind of messed up. It's just like the cat video all over again. Ugh.
Which is kind of crazy when you think about it. Here we are, looking at a 200 million year old tiny creature, and yet we can still see the individual leg structures on it. But you might be wondering, how does something so small manage to get trapped in resin drops in the first place? But think about it from their perspective. A single drop from the tree would have been like having an Olympic swimming pool filled with honey dumped on your head. So the chance of escape was pretty low. But because of this incredible preservation, scientists could also immediately identify them as specifically gall mites, those little bastards that cause weird growths on leaves. And despite being separated by over 200 million years from their modern descendants, many of the distinguishing features of this family were already there. The long segmented body, only having 2 pairs of legs instead of the usual 4 found in other mites, unique feather claws, and specialized mouth parts.
I was gonna say, I bet they haven't even changed that much. And well, there it is. Small jokes in a year stream, never? You mean all the time? Jokes are slow to the ground like you're... Wow.
And it's only because of amber's incredible abilities that we can figure this out, which is really what makes amber so special compared to regular fossils. As when an animal fossilizes the normal way, usually only the hard parts survive, with soft tissue impressions being rare, and actual soft tissue almost never. But amber is different, as it not only preserves soft tissue, but also does so in ridiculous detail. I mean, we're talking about muscle fibers, internal organs, and sometimes even individual cells. So it's kind of like the difference between finding a skeleton and finding a mummy, except honestly, even better. Now, while 200 million year old insects the size of sand grains are scientifically cool, I'll admit they're not exactly riveting. But if we fast forward about 130 million years to the Cretaceous period, that's when we start to find the really interesting stuff. As the world back then was not only hot, humid, and covered in forests, but it also had dinosaurs everywhere. And
Dinosaurs, I'm listening. Those were those mites were mighty well preserved. That was a good one, Warboss. That was a good one. It's like finding a big body. I mean, I'm assuming they're gonna say that like the amber was more prevalent in this time. I'm assuming because the type of trees maybe, and there's just more. So cooler stuff if they survived. Okay, why did it not work? Okay.
Here's something that people still get wrong, which is that they often picture dinosaurs as those scaly monsters from the original Jurassic Park.
No,
And while some certainly could have looked like that, many did not, instead having feathers. And paleontologists have known this for a while, based on both evolutionary relationships and fossil impressions.
It was in a bog body? Oh.
But knowing something and seeing it are two completely
Look how cute that thing is! Oh. Okay, sorry.
different things. And in 2016, researchers discovered an amazing find. A piece of Burmese amber that was about the same size of a dried apricot.
Oh.
But while the size wasn't exactly impressive, the same can certainly not be said for what was found inside it. As inside held something paleontologists could only have dreamt in their most exciting of dreams. A dinosaur tail. Not a fossilized tail, not even an impression of a tail, but rather an actual tail with skin and feathers still attached. And obviously, this is an absolutely incredible find. And so, of course, like any good researchers, they try to figure out a way to see inside it without actually breaking it open and damaging.
I was gonna say it's really, really cool seeing it, but it's only a part of a tail. Yeah, but it happened in Europe often. Yeah, dinosaurs with feathers look so French-shaped. They look so cute. Remember that scene in Lord of the Rings where Frodo almost gets trapped in that swamp with the bodies? That imagery was based on actual bodies preserved in bogs. That's terrifying. That's actually terrifying. Yeah, I would hope they wouldn't break open the amber, but I mean, they could extract things? It was the tail end. It seemed like, yeah, the bottom tail end of it, but like cut off. That part of a tail can see a lot about them. I mean, I know it seemed like part of it, not the whole thing, so. But see, this is so cool.
The specimen. And the answer was micro-CT scanning, a method that uses a ton of radiation to find very fine and precise structured detail. So perfect for dead things, and not so much for living things. And what they've found even surpassed their greatest expectations, as not only did it contain 8 vertebrae still connected, but they were also able to make out that the feathers had barbs and barbules, the tiny hooks that zip feathers together, with them also making the important distinction of there only being a weakly defined rachis. And this is important because what this means is that these were no stiff aerodynamic flight feathers, instead being feathers more suited to ornamental display than any sort of flight or gliding. And so using both the feather and bone structures, they were able to deduce that this belonged to a juvenile non-avian Coelurosaur. In other words, a small theropod, which was likely about the size of a sparrow at the time of its death.
Look how long is his tail actually that long? Like lemur-like? There's a dinosaur out there with a story to tell about how he lost the end of his tail. Yeah, that would be... Honestly, that would be like a banger, cute, like children's movie or something. Be like, I lost my tail in amber, and they go about like the intricacies of amber. That'd be so cool. Could I pet that dog? Might have been stuck in the resin and broke off. That would hurt so bad. Because there's like they said there was vertebrae in there and everything, right? So ow, like ow. Unless only its tail got stuck, and then it just kind of like eventually went over time. His feathers nice. A tall tail. Yeah, he's got a long tail. It's kind of quirky.
And chemical analysis revealed even further details, finding that there were still traces of iron where blood cells would have been, meaning the tail could possibly still have been bleeding when the resin engulfed it. Possibly.
Oh, he definitely got trapped. If he was still bleeding, definitely got trapped. Okay.
And what's crazy about all of this is that this isn't even the only piece of amber we've found with feathers, as others have been discovered containing...
Not based on facts, but feelings. Are you team lizard dinosaurs or team bird dinosaurs? Oh, that's such a tough decision. I like both. I think lizards are cute, and I think bird dinosaurs are cute too. No, don't make me choose both. So thank you for the $5 super chat, Necro. Don't make me choose. I like them both. Because the fluffy ones just look so cute, but then like the lizard ones are also cute. So man. Reminds me in the How to Train Your Dragon series, there was a dragon who spit amber. That was, spit amber? So could you like get all those things that it ate stuck in amber? Because that would be interesting. I'd be so embarrassed if I was the chimkin and lost my tail to a tree. It's just trying his best. Maybe he was running away. Bird dinosaurs somehow more scary to me. I think they'd be like cute and fluffy. Favorite historical time period? I don't know. I never thought about it. Maybe it died at the base of a tree and the sap dripped off the tree onto the tail and that part got preserved that way. Yeah, but it said it was still alive when it happened because like blood was flowing. But maybe, I mean, I could see that happening too, where it's like fading away and then boom there. But it's, I don't know. Maybe they'll tell us.
Different isolated feathers with intact melanosomes, the tiny structures that create colors. And by looking at them, scientists could tell that some feathers were brown, others black, others white, and some mottled.
There are different types of colored feathers? Both is good. Thank you for joining Skryre's Biotech. Thank you. The death song was a dragon who could hypnotize other dragons and encase them in amber for later consumption. That's terrifying if that's real. But like, they can have brown feathers. Well, this is so cool. Ah, but too bad they couldn't have like the really like colorful ones. Like imagine a dinosaur and just has like bright blue feathers, and it meant they're like dangerous. That'd be kind of cool. Although they wouldn't be able to blend in, so I suppose that would be bad.
And then just as a cherry on top, another amber feather specimen was even preserved with a tick on its feather.
Oh, a tick.
Meaning that even 100 million years ago, dinosaurs still had to deal with a hellspawn known as ticks.
Yeah, we still can't get rid of ticks. This is messed up. Slightly off topic, but bog bodies are generally fascinating and terrifying. Imagine over 1,000-year-old human body that's better preserved than a modern human body that's a couple of weeks old. No, that's terrifying. That is straight up terrifying. Which is why finding this stuff is so interesting. You could sometimes figure out the color of dinosaur feathers. This is cool. It sounds like really lame, but I was like, I wish I could like check these things out and find it out myself and be like, yes, the feathers of the specific dinosaur were brown, but I would have no idea how to do it. And I'm pretty sure like there's not a lot of like schooling for it. At least I wouldn't think so. Ticks give me the creeps. Ticks are terrible. We can't get rid of them. Ticks and apparently mosquitoes, because they mentioned mosquitoes before too.
Some things never change. But speaking of stiff, that's basically how my back feels after spending hours researching these specimens.
Real.
So when FlexiSpot reached out, offering to let me try their C7 Max chair,
I figured,
chair. Why not? Seeing that my old chair was essentially leading me to early fossilization.
Sad.
And honestly, the difference is pretty significant. The lumbar support
a good chair does make a difference, though, I'm not gonna lie.
Sacrum, which apparently matters more than I thought. And the whole backrest adjusts to whatever height you are, the headrest tilts in 3 dimensions, and the armrests move in 5 different ways.
Whoa.
In other words, lots of options. Plus, the seat itself has this latex seat cushion with memory foam that helps for those 12-hour research sessions.
Not saying you should
and
buy
then
the chair,
my favorite
but like,
part is the fact
if you're
that
sitting
there's
at a
even
desk a
footrest
lot,
that
you
can pop
really
out,
need a good
which
chair.
frankly I've never even seen before in an office chair.
Okay, that's pretty
cool. And then
cool.
just as a cherry on top, they give you a 30-day return policy.
One of their chairs sometimes cures
with
Microsoft posture.
However,
yeah, I was gonna say I have a
just
really fancy nice chair, and it's definitely a game
desk,
changer.
Which I've used for quite a while, and it's held up great. So if you're interested, use code C730 for $30 off on either the C7 or C5 chair. Links in the description and comments.
I like
and
that
now,
spin.
back to the video.
Oh, back to the video.
But one thing to keep in mind is that amber doesn't just capture animals. It captures anything around it, including, well, plants getting it on, so to speak. You see, one piece of amber found contained a bouquet of tiny flowers, each smaller than a rice grain. But these weren't just any flowers. They were flowers caught in the act of being pollinated.
Oh.
Scandalous, I know. The flowers, now named Microscopic burmensis, had pollen grains stuck to their stigmas, the female parts of the flower. And what's crazy is that the detail was so well preserved that you could see the beginning of pollen tubes growing down towards the ovaries, with these tubes being how flowering plants deliver sperm to eggs. And here they were, frozen mid-deed 99 million years ago, being one of the—
Imagine being caught mid-deed. Sussy flowers. Yeah, flowers. Okay, really? Sussy flowers in my say-so stream? This is crazy.
the oldest visible examples of plant reproduction, and probably plant erotica too. And it gets better, as the pollen grains were also likely coated in a sticky substance, likely the same, if not similar, to the modern pollen kit, which is designed to stick to insects, meaning that scientists were able to strongly infer that by the mid-Cretaceous, flowers weren't just relying on wind for pollination, they were already in cahoots with bugs. And speaking of bugs, one of the most mind-blowing amber finds was a beetle with a built-in flashlight. But not just any beetle, a nearly 100-million-year-old beetle named Cretophagotus azari, and it was
I don't like the look of this beetle. I'm gonna be real. Oh yeah, I heard about that with the volcano as well. I actually find the dinosaur behavior studies to be super interesting too. Amazing how they figure out how dinos did stuff based on such little evidence. Yeah, I'd like to see like how they know and how they got to that point too, like literally breaking it down and be like, oh, you see this this type of feather means this, and then it means that. Like, that'd be so cool. Wild eyebrows, not gonna lie. They had a third party involved. How degenerate. Yeah, I can't believe it. Flowers and now bugs. Oh, in my say-so stream. Scientists competing to see who can give their species the most fact up names. I swear they just sometimes type like letters on the keyboard and they're like, yeah, that sounds pretty good. That sounds pretty close.
Found still carrying its photic organ. In other words, an ancient flashlight built right into its butt.
Oh.
But unlike fireflies who use their glow for communication and mating signals, scientists think this beetle's glow originally evolved in larvae as a warning signal. Basically a, I taste terrible, don't eat me sign. Though knowing how fish and birds react to shiny things, I'm not exactly sure how effective that was. But regardless, what this means from the bigger picture is that while tyrannosaurs were stomping around being all terrible lizard-like, Cretaceous forests were already twinkling with living lights, just like many forests today. And again, similar to today, the forests back then were also filled with tiny reptiles and amphibians, not just the giant animals we typically associate with this time. But these are often overlooked, not only because of their size, but also due to the problem of smaller animals fossilizing at much lower rates than larger ones, due to their bones being more fragile, the fact they're more wholly eaten, etc. However, amber doesn't care about size. As long as it covers something, it's golden, no pun intended. So because of that, we've been able to find amber with tiny reptiles and amphibians that would normally never survive fossilization.
Like, look how cool that is. Okay, bugs getting in there is interesting too. But like, look, it's like fully preserved in there. That's crazy. Keyboard face roll. Ah, my new plant species. That's what it seems like sometimes. I love that video. They're just like, me for real, huh? The lads naming stuff after their favorite movies and media. Oh my god. Can send you a video on someone breaking down the dinosaur behavior stuff. Might be able to drive for stream. I could always watch it off stream too. Like when I'm just like vibing watching BB and just put it on in the background. Man, unlucky. Help, I'm stuck. He's fallen and he can't get back up. Ripped the frogs and lizards who made the wrong decision to rest on a tree. Yeah, imagine just like, oh, this is such a nice, comfy little place. I'm just gonna vibe. And then boom, stuck in amber forever. Can't do anything. Just there. Bro got slimed up by a tree. 07.
Take geckos, for instance.
Geckos.
One Burmese amber specimen preserved a gecko so perfectly intact that you could see not only the tiny structures on its toe pads, but also what appears to be the microscopic setae, the same
Look at his little fingies. Okay, sorry.
Van der Waals force-powered equipment that lets modern geckos run up your walls and ceilings like Spider Pig. And not only that, but scientists also found what looked to be a baby chameleon in amber as well, which would be the oldest chameleon ever found. It had the right body shape, the tail, and even what looked like the beginnings of those large crazy eyes. I mean, researchers are basically one phone call away from announcing to the world that they found the earliest chameleon ever. Until that is, they did a CT scan on the amber. Because, as it turns out, not only was this not a chameleon, it wasn't even a lizard at all, instead being something we had never seen before, a species now called Yaksha pareti, which turned out to be a part of an extinct group of amphibians named Albanzerpetontid.
Albanzerpetontid. That's a name. These things are kind of cute. They kind of look like longer geckos, like stretched out geckos. I mean, I guess that's just a lizard though, isn't it?
And the reason we're able to figure out this was due to the CT scan revealing a skull structure that was just all kinds of wrong for a reptile. But here's the kicker. Even though the skull was off, the other structures are remarkably similar, as mentioned, with this guy even having a ballistic tongue, just like a chameleon. And this is convergent evolution at its finest. Two completely unrelated animals evolving the same solution to the same problem, with them both needing to catch fast-moving prey in likely similar environments. And so the answer was a spring-loaded tongue. Now, I mentioned that small animals generally don't fossilize well, and this is true. But there's one specific type that fossilizes even worse than normal. Baby animals.
Oh no, not baby animals. Hello, monk. Why do these look like something from your world building? Is kind of crazy. Looks like a wiener dog lizard. Okay, you're not wrong though. We're gonna evolve into crab. No, we're not gonna evolve into crab. Now we're gonna learn little babies. Oh, look at it all scrunched up. Makes you wonder just how many ancient species went extinct and vanished but weren't lucky enough to be preserved as fossils or amber, and now we'll never know they existed. Yeah, isn't it scary? It's scary to think about, because like even that one lizard thing that we found, that they just talked about, like the looks like the grand ancient ancestor of chameleons. It's just not there. They just found out about it and like, it's kind of like a chameleon, but not really. And then we scanned everything.
And this makes a lot of sense when you think about it, as not only are they tiny, but their bones also haven't fully mineralized, something which regular fossilization usually requires. But, like we've established, amber does not discriminate. It will absolutely trap anything that it can grab. And so one piece was found containing a snake so young that it was probably fresh from the egg, a species now known as Xiophis myanmarensis.
Xiophis myanmarensis. See, like, how did they come up with that name? Come on.
And at less than 5 centimeters long, it was smaller than your pinky finger.
Oh.
But despite its small size, in typical amber fashion, the preservation was remarkable, with scientists finding 97 vertebrae and unfused bones in the specimen, which also confirmed that this was indeed a newborn. And another piece of amber from the same area contained a shed snakeskin with perfectly preserved scale patterns, which together proved two things.
Looks like corn. Sorry. Corn texture scales. Thought it was chameleon only to find out this thing was more closer to frogs and salamanders than reptiles. Yeah, isn't that crazy? It's probably found in Myanmar. Oh, well, that makes sense. Amber does not discriminate. You will be trapped and killed. Preserve for eternity. Prepare to be ambered. Isn't that like a terrifying way to go? 5 centimeters is huge. I would tell you otherwise. Wow, Minty. Wow. Latin or Greek. That would make sense. Why I wouldn't understand it. Corn? No, like corn on the cob. Corn. Considering some of the deserts we have now were tropical in the past, we're probably missing a lot of animals from those. Oh, deserts in the past. Probably missing a lot of animals from those areas too. Yeah, anything without amber, anything that could, I guess, fossilize. Smaller than your pinky finger, he said with so much confidence that knowing Cobb would eventually watch it. Wow, it's messed up. I was like, no one's going to make a small comment for that. And then you did it. Messed up.
1, that early snakes were already adapted to forest life. And 2, that they were more widespread than we first thought. And so these finds might not seem very remarkable, but they did actually help fill a massive gap in our understanding of snake evolution. As before this, we had ancient snakes from Gondwana and more modern snakes in Asia.
Okay. Unrelated, that there were descendants on the snake, very cute. And I think I just want to boop the snoot, but like, not really.
But basically nothing in between in the area where this was found. And so these amber babies gave proof to how snakes spread and diversified as the continents drifted apart. And speaking of babies, if you think giving birth is tough now, imagine doing it while drowning in tree resin.
Yeah.
As that's exactly what happened to Cretatortulosa gignans.
Cretatortulosa gignans. Okay, bless you.
A land snail preserved at possibly the worst moment imaginable. This snail, only 11 millimeters tall, i.e. about the size of a button, was caught with 5 newborn babies, one even still being attached. And unsurprisingly, her tentacles were extended like she had just realized that something was wrong. Very wrong. And yeah.
Oh no, imagine being like, something's wrong, and then you and the babies get stuck in amber. Oh, that's like a nightmare. Why are more people afraid of amber?
There was. You see, this poor mother just survived childbirth, only to be buried alive by tree goo. Talk about going from the miracle of life to the tragedy of death in record time. But besides capturing what has to be one of the most terrible deaths imaginable, this fossil also showed something scientifically important, which is that some snails were already doing live birth 99 million years ago, keeping the babies inside until they are birthed, instead of laying eggs like most other gastropods. And this wasn't the only snail evolutionary quirk captured by amber, as another specimen known as Archaeocyclotis brevilosus.
Archaeocyclotis brevilosus. Okay, this thing looks like a cinnamon bun that you dropped on like the floor. Sorry, not sorry.
Was preserved with what looks like tiny hairs all over its shell, with each hair being only 150 to 200 micrometers long, but still clearly visible in the amber. And while this is a now extinct quirk, scientists do think these certainly played a very real function, potentially being designed to help with traction on wet leaves, or camouflage, thermoregulation, or perhaps just as some sort of display for sexual selection. However, with that said, beyond just pure scientific value, amber also captures moments and things that are just, well, cool. Perhaps best exemplified by a 100-million-year-old amber that had a spider and wasp showdown that would make any modern action movie jealous.
Yeah, imagine, oh god, like the snail be like, wait a minute, hairy snail, I hate it. Yeah, it looks like you dropped something on the floor and like completely ignored the 5-second rule, and it was just like it landed in a pile after like cats roll over there. How dirty is your floor? I meant like if you have a lot of cats. A yummy cinnamon roll covered in lint, exactly. Billy caught on my behind couch, fossilized cinnamon bun, rude. Imagine trying to get food and then just bam, amberized. I was meant to say fossilized, but like this is kind of terrifying too. I don't even like looking at it.
The spider, Geratinophila
oh,
romanica, was a juvenile orb weaver caught mid-attack on a wasp called Cascocelio and Cassis. And so considering the participants involved, needless to say, we're rooting for the spider. And I am happy to report that the wasp was clearly on the way out, being entangled in silk, while the spider itself was just preparing to bite and eat its prey.
Okay, I can't
And
pause
funnily
on this.
enough...
Okay, now we're good. I don't like wasps, but I don't like spiders either. Wasps are stinky, but yeah.
A second male spider lurked nearby, perhaps as backup or just as a front row seat to the show. But what's really interesting, and also kind of creepy, is the fact that these wasps were parasitic, actually being part of a group known to lay their eggs inside spider egg sacs, so that their babies can then eat the spider babies. Gruesome, I know. And so...
Wait, isn't there... I don't want to pause on this. There's a species of things that do that to spiders, and I feel like we learned about that in like a More Parts video or something.
I like to think of this spider as getting revenge on behalf of all of its kind. Maybe even on behalf of its brothers and sisters.
It needs to stop
But regardless of the potential...
Okay, close to a hawk wasp, but not the same. Yeah, I got the same kind of vibes from that, where it's like, oh, it's similar though. Yeah, I understand it's not the same, but similar. Seems like Amber's the small creature quicksand type fear. I feel like sap would be really, really slow, but the tarantula hawk wasp, yeah, there's a lot of parasitic wasps. Why are wasps actually terrible? Like, what? Hello? I think some spiders keep very small frogs as pets to basically guard the eggs. I would keep a frog as a pet. Those tarantula hawk wasps and didn't bother with the egg sac, just skip right to the spider. Oh, okay, well, that's the difference between them, but that's, ugh. Oh, okay, we gotta get past the spider part. I don't like the spiders. Ugh.
Drama, this piece also represents the only known fossil of a spider attacking its prey in its web. But not all amber fossils are this dramatic. Some are just awkward. Take Halithros's Grimaldi, a harvestman and relative of Daddy Longlegs, which was preserved with its penis fully extended and ready to go. And what's crazy...
I'm sorry, what? Okay.
And also probably very embarrassing for our friend here.
Very embarrassing.
The preservation was so detailed that scientists actually used its genital structure to classify it into a specific family, which is honestly insane when you think about it. I mean, imagine dying butt naked, only for scientists millions of years later to use the shape of your permanently exposed genitals as the way to determine which species you belong to.
Imagine being determined what species you are by your pee-pee. Finally, spider pee-pee. That's terrible. Oh, imagine being the pee-pee spider. Oh, that's great. Fingerprint, now that's weak stuff. Yeah. Got trapped in amber. Oh my gosh. Oh, that's terrible.
Yeah. And while we don't know if it died mid-mating or was just trying to impress someone, one thing is definitely for certain, which is that this has to be the most embarrassing fossil ever found. But hey, I'll take embarrassing over terrifying pretty much any day. And this includes one of the scariest amber finds ever, which doesn't actually show a predator.
Okay, scary. So we went from the funniest one to now the scariest one? Well, that was awkward. We got petrified spider pee-pee before GTA 6. That's actually oh my god, Edom and Shemar had the same brain. Stonks.
As one might think, but instead, a tiny flea. You see, what they found was a 20 million year old amber piece with a flea so weird that scientists literally named it the strange flea in Greek. Atopopsilis sionis.
Atopopsilis? Okay, that sounds fun to say. It sounds like apocalypse. Atopopsilis.
But that is not the scary part. Rather, it's the clusters of bacteria around its mouth and rear end.
Ew.
And while it might not be surprising to find bacteria in these two locations, the problem is that these bacteria shared a scarily similar presentation as to what's seen in the bacteria responsible for the plague. i.e. that pesky thing which wiped out nearly 50% of Europe's population.
And it was just chilling on this, I think they said it was a flea, right? That hello?
And if these really were ancient Yersinia bacteria, then it means that some form of disease might have been killing mammals millions of years before humans even existed, and thus making the Black Death just one small chapter in a bacteria that might have been wiping out our relatives for millions upon millions of years. So, with all this said, you might be wondering, beyond being cool and somewhat scientifically interesting, why do we care so much about things trapped in old tree gunk?
Sorry, we care because we have to learn. This is very important.
And the answer is actually kind of self-explanatory by this point. which is that it gives us a very clear picture into the past,
Mhm.
allowing amber to both fill gaps in our understanding, as well as prove things that could only have logically been assumed prior, and often in a way that regular fossils simply can't match. Take flowers, for example. We know the evolution of flowering plants changed the entire planet.
Right.
But we have gaps in understanding, as flowers rarely fossilize. But here we have a piece of amber not only capturing some of them, but also capturing them mid-pollination, showing us reproduction from millions of years ago in real time, so to speak. So while Jurassic Park fans might be disappointed to hear that there's a 0% chance of us using amber to bring back dinosaurs, I think it's better to reframe it. Amber isn't a potential blueprint for resurrection, but it is basically life itself frozen in action, which is
Yeah, it's kind of like leaving behind like a book, kind of. You know what I mean? It's like learning so much we care, because without it, how we learn about ancient spider pee-pee. True.
honestly just as cool, if not more so. And here's the thing that really gets me. Somewhere out there, in deposits we haven't found yet, there are
Ooh.
pieces of amber holding secrets we probably can't even imagine. I mean, we've found amber with literal dinosaur tails and
Mhm.
snails giving birth. So who's to say what's really out there? Because occasionally, when conditions are just right, a tree bleeds on something interesting and we get to see it forever.
That was pretty cool. I kind of like that. We learned a lot today. We learned a lot. Okay, that was okay. I'm gonna
Thanks
actually.
for watching, and until next time on extinctzoo.
Okay, so that was cool. Okay, I'm gonna.
Warhammer has a
No, pause. Okay. We got amber pieces with flowers getting busy and harvest been caught with his pee out. I think the spider's stuck into your head now at this point. It's just so funny. Like, did you know that a spider had his pee out stuck in amber? That's gonna be all I'm gonna talk about now. Like, family functions, baby, and then spider pee. Yeah, spider pee was not on my bingo card. Something else of note, even if we could get the DNA from the blood of mosquito, we wouldn't know which species it is, which would make it using nearly impossible. I don't want to bring any kind of mosquito back. I'm not going to lie. Mosquitoes can, I was going to say suck it, but that's probably what they would like to do because they suck blood. But like, frick mosquitoes, frick wasps. I don't like spiders personally because they gross me out, but at least spiders are good for the environment. Like, dang. We didn't talk about it. We also found malaria carrying flies and mosquitoes in amber. I just think it's crazy that the plague thing carried on for a while, too. Hope chat was good. Yeah, chat's been good. Not the mosquitoes, the dinosaurs they feed on. Oh. But the mosquitoes by proxy would then carry it as well, no? Mosquitoes can fack up with some wasps. Yeah, fack wasps. Fack them. You know, spider caught an amber with his pee out. Who the heck starts a conversation like that? Just start that. Can't wait to talk about it at Easter time. It's going to be great. Okay, you behave. Yeah, chat's been good. All right, now we're gonna learn about the Skaven, which are the rats, the many kinds of rats. So I thought Skaven were just like one thing. No, they're whole different. I guess it's kind of like the vampires, right? Where it's like different thing. So Skaven, yes, okay. Hey, it's Erebus. This is Erebus. I feel like I've seen them before, so maybe. I don't know a lot of Warhammer stuff. Like I said, I'm just like barely dipping my toes in. So if I was gonna say, don't spoil anything. But if there's something like this where it's important to the plot and I don't know what it is, you guys can mention it. Wasps are important for pollination. Yeah, but like that's what we need bumblebees for. Erebus is from 40k. Yeah, I know I've heard the name mentioned, but okay, so let's get started learning about the Skaven. Oh wait, should we do a volume check?
lot of rats. There's plenty of normal rats to go around in any of the settings because
Look at this cute little rat. Okay, volume's good. Is that important other than the joke for this video? Oh, okay. Look at the cute little rat. Look at him. How could anyone hate this cute little rat? This 40k, so not as important as today's subject matter. Oh, okay. All right, Pog. Volume good. Volume seems good. All right, let's start over. Okay. Let's... Hello again, Mr. Erebus. All right, let's learn about the Skaven. We love rats here. We're very cool. Rats are cool. Why he's so friend-shaped? Rats are friend-shaped. Look, it's Pen. Once we get back to the rat. When we get back to the rat, that's Pen. Here we go.
Warhammer has a lot of rats. There's plenty of normal rats to go around in any of the settings, because be it the 41st millennium or the magical mortal realms, these little critters are hard to get rid of. It's so far only Alberta that has managed to remain free of them in real life. In 40k, there's ratlings, which are granted actually hobbits, but rats in the name and they're little fellas.
Hobbits? Okay, but where's their cute little rat ears and tail? They're just okay. All right. Okay.
So they still kinda count. And of course, there's the Skaven, the premier ratman of Warhammer Fantasy and Age of Sigmar, and one of the more unique things GW has ever created. God bless the people that decided to give rats machine guns, because that's very fun. But even these despicable morons have to have some form of organization. Their main idea for things may be throwing rats at a problem until it's solved, but they have to all have some vague agreement that a certain thing is a problem to do that. Thus we come to the various clans of Skavendom. A few of them are different flavors of mad scientists wielding...
Okay, mad scientist ones. They're rats in name only. Oh, space hobbitses. Okay, they're only name only. Short kings. Basically the halflings of 40k. All right, so they're not actually like rats then. Okay. All right. Look at them. Okay, let's see. So we have like warlocks?
Either technology beyond the realm of sanity or creating the most horrific abominations that would make Frankenstein look tame. Others are sneaky ninjas, darting in and out of the shadows to achieve what they want. And more still subscribe to the time-tested method of outnumbering the enemy 100 to 1 and drowning them with pure weight of rats more than anything else. The clans of Skavendom are beautiful to behold in the way only absolutely horrid...
Is that like a mole rat that he's on? I didn't even think about a mole rat. You want to hug one? I mean, I don't think they'd be friend-shaped, but... We would make sure they're friend-shaped. Yeah, magic rats. Well, we have ninja rats. We have magic rats. I'm assuming we have warrior rats.
Things can be. So let's take a look at the different clans of them you can expect to find in the Warhammer world. But before we start, a quick shout out to Minimaker, this video's sponsor. What's Minimaker make? They make minis, dude. It's in the name. 3D printed minis for playing tabletop RPGs or war games with that you could drop off the table and they'll be fine. Minis for displaying nice and pretty on your shelf. Minis that are on a budget but still look phenomenal. They've got a quality option for each of those choices, and you have plenty of options of minis to purchase. Just as good as their quality is how they get it to you. All of it's made to order, which means there's no need to worry about either a mini being out of stock or a scalper buying all the stock and then hoarding it like a dragon. You will get what you want, and it'll ship worldwide within 2 to 10 business days. I have waited longer for medical supplies than I did for the minis they sent me. That is not a joke. That is how good
they make
their
minis.
shipping
Who could have
is.
guessed?
And if
Oh my
you have
god,
any
minis?
questions or suggestions, you can reach out to them no problem and tell them what's on your mind. Is something missing from the store? They'll add it as a mini. You can make suggestions for minis to be added, and they will add them. If that isn't grade A customer service, I don't know what is. To get in on these phenomenal minis, it's nice and easy. Go to minimaker.com and start shopping. If you buy enough minis, you can even get points to buy more minis with. And if you use code Pancreas at checkout, you get yourself a 10% discount. Head on over to minimaker.com now, use code Pancreas, and get yourself some phenomenal minis today. Now then, time to invest in rat poison. To start off, I should say that there are untold thousands of...
Whoa, there's so many. I thought there wouldn't be that many. Oh, because it's different clans. So they're still rats, but different clans? Are they different, like, species as well?
Skaven clans even before we get to Age of Sigmar, where their numbers started reaching the singularity. Some of them are truly massive, numbering in the hundreds of thousands of rats. Others are just a few isolated vermin with maybe a single good thing going for them. Most of them, however, take influence from one of the great clans, which is what we'll be talking about today. It's not a hard-set rule that the Skaven clans are all copies of a greater one. There's one clan, Clan Rictus, that has its claim to fame in the form of tolls they force on anyone entering or leaving the Darklands. Another, Clan Scurvy, are exactly what you think they are, pirate rats. There are as many things for a Skaven clan to be about as there are Skaven clans out there, because while the rats love to steal things from everyone else, they also get up to plenty of wacky nonsense when left to their own devices. But the great clans, as you can expect from the name, have such massive amounts of influence that their cultures and more leak into the rest of Skavendom. So for the sake of simplicity, we'll focus today on those great clans, as well as one other particular highlight. Starting us off, we have...
Skryre.
Welcome to Rat Raytheon, young engineering major. Say goodbye to your moral code and say hello to making new and exciting ways to detonate dwarfs. Fair's fair, though. The words Skaven and moral code were never together to begin with. Clan Skryre is the wealthiest Skaven clan out of all of them, and one of the 4 reigning great clans. Their power lays in both the realm of mundane technology as well as arcane might. And
I was gonna say, they said mundane technology, but like they got... This doesn't look good. Skype, yeah. It kind of looks a little toxic with like the plague mask. I mean, it's not exactly a plague mask, but with the gas mask a little bit. It's a little spicy already. War crimes. I mean, they're starting out guns blazing already, or should I say green Clan Skype green fumes blazing.
Given how prevalent warpstone is in Skaven society, those things frequently overlap. To give you an idea as to how prolific they are, pretty much every Skaven weapon out there was created by these guys. Rattling guns, Jezzails, mortars, warp fire throwers, doom wheels that run down the enemy, artillery cannons that can destroy the moon. If it's anything more than a rusty spear, it probably came from a Skryre workshop.
So they just created everything. Okay, alright. So they like everything. Okay.
Don't take that to mean that Clan Skryre only makes weapons, though, because there's plenty of non-violent things they make as well, as much as a shocker as it may sound for a Skaven to make non-lethal creations.
Yeah, there's a shocker.
The warp lights that allow the rats to see in their tunnels are another invention of theirs, as is the warp rail that connects the entire Under-Empire. That's right, the Skaven have subways. It was Clan Skryre...
The Skaven have subways? Wow, it's literally just New York, innit?
Digging machines that excavated those rail networks as well. Clan Skryre is so powerful and rich because they make the things the lore doesn't focus on. Those little things that you logically know need to exist, but they're boring, so they aren't really talked about. Their influence runs deep because of how widespread their stuff is, and though no Skaven clan has ever quite taken down all the others, Clan Skryre is in a position to cause perhaps the most damage if they went rogue.
I was gonna say, I'm surprised they haven't just destroyed everything else. It just seems like they're just causing chaos. They're literally just New Yorkers now. Of course, they have subways that yearn for their true home. It's where the rats live, the subways. Probably better organized in New York, too. Oh, 100%. 100%. Even rattling guns, Clan Skryre's got you covered, Yura. I mean, they're just come up with everything. So, like, I feel like you wouldn't want to be on their bad side. Like, what happens if you just, like, upset them? Then you're just gone. Like, they'll just delete you. They'd be like, ka-chow. Point of view, you took a wrong turn in New York City. RIP. Skaven are everywhere in the world, and the entire underworld empire is connected to Skavenblight capital. So of course they need trains. How did you think they go to a meeting? I don't know, by walking really fast, because you know they're walking here. Okay, they don't actually. New Yorkers don't actually say that. It's just for the funny.
Only matched by one other. Really, they could just stop selling stuff to everyone. The only people that might have the power to force them are the Grey Seers, given that they're the mouth of the Horned Rat and all that.
Okay.
Everyone else has to pay top dollar for Skryre weaponry, because for all that it is still Skaven equipment and therefore prone to exploding, Skryre does good work. Would you rather be a Skaven clan with access to rattling guns, or one banned from ever touching one of the things?
True.
That's how Skryre stays in business. I was tempted to say that Clan Skryre is one of the more dangerous Skaven clans to be a part of, but then I thought about it, and that's an almost meaningless statement. All Skaven clans churn through rats like popcorn. That doesn't mean anything to say one is particularly dangerous. Instead, here's their specific way of getting themselves killed.
I mean, I was gonna say, they sound like they're a little spicy. Sounds like it. Main issue is that Skaven technology is 90% likely to explode on you. Yeah. Yeah, that's kind of quirky. Kind of cute.
Because Clan Skryre is all about engineering projects, they naturally spend a lot of time researching. Now, even in the real world, sometimes things go wrong. Just look at the Demon Core. A slip of a screwdriver and everyone in that room became a dead man walking.
Oh.
Clan Skryre is that, but not only do the rats not care if you blow up, sometimes you blowing up is either the point or a happy accident they're going to put more research into. Health and safety protocols do not exist, for such things are not the Skaven way. Clan Skryre's research, even for the most mundane of things, involves a body count of the dozens, if not hundreds, and for some of this stuff, it's absolutely reaching the thousands. I would guarantee you that rattling guns were tested on thousands of Skaven slaves before they were ever deployed to the field. And Skaven engineering being what it is, even the non-weapon things they create are probably rickety pieces of garbage that only work just well enough to be sellable to other rats. The life of a warlock engineer and his acolytes are one fraught with peril, not even from other rats necessarily, but from their own deranged experiments. Other rats will, of course, also try to kill them the moment they look like their research is going to succeed, though. Why do all that troublesome research yourself when you can kill the guy who did, copy his notes roughly accurately, and take credit? But all of this is irrelevant.
I was gonna say, I'm surprised they don't, like, delete each other and try and take their stuff, but then never mind, apparently they do. Rat subways, forget about it. Who needs safety? Apparently not the Skaven. Friendly fire doesn't exist in Skaven society because it implies you wouldn't want to shoot your own troops. I mean, yeah, no, they really don't care, do they? They really don't care. Skaven engineering, they just don't. They're just like, oh, I'm just gonna delete it. Back in time for rat. Hello, Pan. Yeah, look, we're learning about the Skaven. Demon Core, let's handle these 2 massive lumps of radioactive material. Oopsie, I slipped. They touched. Yep. That's kind of what it seems like the Skaven are all about. That's kind of, yeah, why do you and the other rats just not coexist? Yeah, why don't you like your fellow rat brethren? Come on.
If a warplock engineer can make one moderately successful project, be it a weapon or something like those warp lights to assist the Skaven in day-to-day life with, he will be rich beyond his beliefs as he milks it for everything it's worth. More importantly for the whole, Clan Skryre will be able to profit from his inventions as they sell it to the rest of the Under Empire. 10,000 dead slaves and a few dozen dead warlocks is nothing compared to the amount of warp tokens that can be raked in as a result of a new invention, and every warlock wants to be the one to invent it and take credit for it, more importantly. And Skryre technology, for how unreliable it is genuinely more advanced than anyone else's. The dwarfs will occasionally use oil in some projects like their gyrocopters and the Spirit of Grungni, and they do have some trains. The Skaven, meanwhile, have invented Skype, underground rail networks, and energy weapons. Even from their point of view, Skryre tech can be unreliable, but that's where the difference between people and Skaven comes in. A human army outfitting their soldiers with weapons that have a 1/3 chance of exploding would be seen as cruel and evil, as well as just wasteful.
Yeah, rats just don't care. They're like, oh, we made this, you're gonna use it, and if it deletes you, tough nuggets, kiddo. Like, come on. Good times are war crimes for a reason. Yeah, this is crazy. They're just like, well, if literally, it's that quote that someone said before from, like, Lord Farquaad, like, some of you may die, but it is a risk I'm willing to take. Like, come on. Back with Clanarion, I think still did the same one. Yeah, literally, same brain, Cisco. Same brain.
To the Skaven, who cares if they explode? As long as Skryre stuff kills at least a few enemies before it takes out your gunners, and it's almost certainly reliable enough to do at least that, it did the job it needed to. Of course, the likelihood of something going wrong tends to scale with how grand a piece of tech it is, but that just means you have to be farther away from it when it's deployed. And really, did you want to be next to the Warpstone nuclear bomb when it went off anyways? Clan Skryre is in fantasy ruled by Morskatar. There's not much known about this rat, but as a member of the Council of 13, you can safely assume he's incredibly smart, dangerous, and cunning. In fact, he's over 400 years old and once was able to declare himself the Emperor of Skavenblight during their second civil war. Skryre technology may be the only thing keeping him around, but at the end of the day, it is keeping him around, proving his capability as an engineer. And by virtue of being a Skaven 400 years old, you can assume he knows how to handle any upstart underling accolades.
There's a rat that made it to 400 years old. I'm surprised I haven't tried deleting him.
That might
yeah, same brain, Mobros. Yeah, Skaven living 400 years is insane. I was literally thinking the same thing. I was like, there's no way, because they would get rid of each other in a heartbeat.
Try and take credit from him, or as it were, keep him from taking their credit. For one last thing, I would theorize that Clan Skryre interacts with non-Skaven non-violently more often than most other clans do, because the thing about Skaven research and development is that it as often as not it involves stealing stuff from the other races. If they can get their hands on a dwarf cannon, they don't have to go through the rigmarole of designing a whole cannon. They just have to jam it full of warpstone and see what happens when they fire it. So it benefits them to be, if not sneaky, then much more directed with their assaults.
They tried a lot. He's not dead yet. How'd he do it, man? They did try. Many did try bleeding him, but failed. Geneva doesn't exist. Oh, they've definitely tried killing him. He's just been clever enough to survive. I mean, I feel like a lot of the Skaven don't make it past a couple of days at this point. Like, once they can, like, create everything and think about it. Skaven can get de-aging treatment, it seems. Or maybe they can just live forever as long as someone doesn't, get rid of them himself. So I don't know how I managed to get through the whole Clan Skryre section without mentioning Ikit Claw a single time. Well, it's not over yet, is it?
Non-violently interacting is definitely not the best way to put it, but essentially they aren't attacking you because it's part of a glorious scheme to bring about Skavendom's rise to power. Not just because of that anyways. They probably just want your stuff and are more than happy to kill you to get to it.
Okay, so, who is Ikit Claw then? Is it like another one that like lives forever or something? Or is it something that I could just learn about later? So you live about 5 to 10 years and die from age. I was going to say, the average Skaven full lifespan is 13 years. I would say it can't be that long. Because even, like, rats in real life don't last more than a couple of years, right? There are billions of them. Some of them are bound to be cut above the rest. They're so lucky that they'll fall up the ladder. That's true. There's always going to be one that's, like, a leader-esque. Their best engineer, biggest brain. Oh. Who doesn't like stuff? I, too, enjoy stuff. He's the strongest, smartest warlock of Morskatar from Skryre. How come they didn't mention it then? They only mentioned the 400-year-old guy. Clan Moulder. See, these look like naked mole rats. I mean, I know they're just naked rats, but like, their eyes are covered, so I'm assuming they're blind in tunnels. Claw's the best engineer. Is a legendary lord in Total War. Oh, why would they not mention it then? Or maybe it's just too much thing. Basically a Skaven nuke. Oh. So the main engineer from the clan is crazy, completely murder obsessed, and just like me, for real, for real. Nah, no, I don't think so, Pen. Nah, I don't think so. Frankenstein time. This looks a little quirky. He invented the rattling gun. Oh, invented the nuke as well. Well, let's see. All right, now let's learn about the Moulder. I'm still gonna call them naked mole rats. Hi, Callard.
The other mad scientist clan, this one being for the Frankenstein.
Because one mad scientist clan wasn't enough, they needed two. Anyway, continue.
Fellows. An ancient clan, their origins date back as far as -1450 in the imperial calendar, when one of the surviving Skaven, after
Thank you for the $2 super chat, Michael. Hello, happy Wednesday. It's Wednesday. Happy Wednesday. Hope you're doing well.
They accidentally blew up most of the Under Empire, marched northwards, and founded the city of Hellpit, with the area being right on the border of Norska.
Why does this guy have 6 arms? Okay, continue.
And therefore close to the Chaos Wastes, all sorts of lovely abominations can already be found here. The forebears of Clan Moulder took one look at all these monsters and thought to themselves, how can we make them even worse? The capital of Hellpit is rich with warpstone as well, further allowing them to do their grisly work. Clan Moulder has sure enough become a great clan by virtue of how many different kinds of beasties they create in their lab to sell. Their packmasters will scoop up any suit.
What is this? What the? You guys literally weren't kidding when you said Frankensteining before. What the? What? How? Successful Frankensteining? Because how is this thing alive? Yeah, with bro built like me. What is this? Help an abomination? That's a dog? What the dog doing? What the? It's an actual unit, by the way. This thing is terrifying. This is like what I see in my nightmares. What the?
Interesting creature they find and take it back to a Master Moulder's lair to experiment on. And experiment is only the word I'm using because I can't really think of a better one. Torture is a good way to describe it, in all honesty.
This is torture.
They'll just poke and prod on a creature's insides, adding and removing bits to see what happens, and then when it almost inevitably dies, they'll round up another one and start over again. This is one of the more horrific of Skaven clans because of their focus on biological experiments. When Clan Skryre experiments with a new piece of tech, the danger is that it'll blow up in their face. When Clan Moulder has a new formula for warp steroids to test, they're kidnapping animals and people to experiment on with. Though any clans can do it, Clan Moulder is one that especially likes to go up and kidnap entire villages Dark Eldar style. One second everyone is going about their day, the next the village is a ghost town.
This is terrifying. I mean, they're interesting, but like, what the? Like, we just feel like doing experiments. Let's go raid this village and completely wipe it out and just do some funky little experiments. That sounds fun. The Hellpit Abomination is one of the Moulder's best, relatively stable creations as they sell. They have worse stuff in Hellpit, but they ain't selling those. So they make multiple versions of those things. Yeah, nice organs. Yoink. Entire swarm of ratty... What? Moulder's body horror? This is what it looks like. Thankfully, it's like... It's obviously grotesque, but like looking at it, you're like, ugh.
Buildings are untouched, food can still be found half-eaten on plates, but all the people are gone, spirited away to Hellpit to be turned into something horrific. Hellpit itself is layered like a cake, or more accurately, layered like hell in Dante's Inferno. 9 different levels of atrocities await anyone coming to this place, naturally getting worse and worse as you go down further. Just to get in, there's a river of lava you have to pass, guarded by a rat guardian who glows bright green with warpstone. After that, you start running into all sorts of nasties created by the smartest of Master Moulders. To be quite frank, if you're here, you're either going to become one of those nasties or become food for one of those nasties. Though if you're real unlucky, you might get molded into the walls of Hellpit. They can do that apparently, and yes, you are still alive and in agony when it happens.
So on top of them taking you and experimenting on you or, you know, making you food, you're alive during all of it. Pog.
For what practical purpose this serves, I don't know, because Skaven aren't like the Dark Eldar in that they get physical and spiritual nourishment from suffering like that. I think they genuinely just like doing that to people. All of this is supported by Clan Moulder selling their creations to other races. Everyone wants a kaiju on their side in a war, and Clan Moulder is making, if not Godzilla, then at least a decent approximation of him, with a ratty theme for flavor. The least impressive thing they export are just hungry rat swarms, likely slightly mutated at least by warpstone exposure and general experimentation.
Is warpstone kind of like radioactive? Because like they mention it briefly, and it's bright green, and that's like, I feel like, I don't know, it's kind of like that's what's gonna be Tetra's clan then. Tetra already likes the Skaven, so I wouldn't be surprised if she's like Pog. Giant mole rat you saw was a Clan Moulder creation. The mutated rats whose babies are chosen as mounts once the strongest one kills the others. Well, that kind of sounds like nature, yeah. Clan Skryre, deadly hamster balls, Clan Moulder, duct tape rats together. You're not wrong. Fantasy radioactive. Okay, all right. Okay, it's magic plutonium, chaos uranium. Okay, so it is kind of like that. I kind of figured because it implied it, but I was just trying to make sure it's not like something completely unrelated and I was incorrect. Thanks, guys.
Though most Skaven can't actually control rats, some Moulder Packmasters can, and will send them scurrying towards the enemies of Skavendom for an appropriate price. Others are far more obvious in their value. Rat ogres are aptly named and can tear apart the enemies.
Rat ogres. Okay, cool. Alright.
Of the Skaven, as well as other Skaven, and Clan Moulder charges a high price because of this. They know everyone wants one. Hellpit abominations are the cream of the crop, costing the highest price but also being one of the most powerful weapons a Skaven warlord could hope to command. If you'll excuse some more theory crafting, I would have to assume that part of Clan Moulder's marketability is that once you buy a creature, it's pretty low maintenance. Just throw it in a big enough cage or hole and feed it some Skaven slaves every now and again. Easy peasy. Whoever has to let it out when it's time for war is also probably getting eaten, but such is the life of the humble clan rat.
Yeah, the humble clan rat, yeah, sure. Warpstone is solidified chaos energy, aka RNG magic. Not so much radioactive as chaos active. Hideously mutates anything comes in contact with or just straight up kills him. Oh, but it's fine for... Wait, no other race but the Skaven can tolerate it. Is it kind of... Okay, if you guys have seen League, is it kind of like what they use? Because now that I saw the rat ogres, is it kind of like the stuff in like, Arcane? Where you could like inject it, it makes you stronger, but it could also obviously have very, very negative side effects. Is it more similar to that then? It's not hex tech? No, I understand it's not. It's a completely different thing, but is it similar to that? Be sure to remember all this is a test at the end. I'm not going to remember any of this. I'm trying. It's far more unstable than the stuff in Arcane. Okay, it's way worse. Much worse, but similar vibe. Okay, so similar vibe, but like not even viable to use on basic things. Okay. You refer to the shimmer. I don't know what is it called, shimmer? I don't remember. Rat ogres are neat, a giant buff stitched up rat who can be fixed with blades on their arms, even just sharp pieces of warpstones for stabbing enemies. That's one way to use it. Just, you know, integrate it into your skin and attack others. Their minds are diabolical if you think about it. You got the idea of it. It's magical radioactivity for all intents and purposes. Yeah, I'm just trying to make the connection so I understand it. Because, like, you're like, it's radioactive, but not really. So I think that's, like, the best connection I can make to understand it. I'm trying to learn.
Clan Moulder is also perfectly happy to do custom jobs if you ask them politely and bribe them enough. Master Moulders are nothing if not artistic with the liberties they take when experimenting on living creatures. Maybe you want your monsters to be especially armored. Thicker skin and metal can be bolted onto it for just a measly few dozen more extra warp tokens. Maybe you want your monsters to also have guns. Well, that's gonna run you the big bucks since that was a Clan Skryre collaboration project, but Stormfeeds are wanted perhaps more than even rat ogres, so that can be done too. But maybe you're also a free-spirited rat and want your Clan Moulder contact to do whatever he wants and show you the result. He's gonna happily march back to his workshop, spin a wheel a few times, and add whatever it lands on to his monstrous creation. You're either gonna get upcharged to high hell because he'll lie to you about the work that went in, or you may get a special discount for letting an aspiring artist work on his magnum opus. Either way, it's guaranteed to be horrific, and it'll probably...
Wait, look at the little rats over here too! So there's a Skaven, and then they have little rat friends? Let's go, look how cute they are, they're just chilling.
be lethal to at least the first person you sick it on. The Skaven of Clan Moulder themselves are an odd bunch, especially mutated by chaos waste energy as well as constant warpstone exposure, even by Skaven standards. Rampant hunger, extra limbs, and more are not uncommon to see, and sometimes the line between Clan Moulder mutant and Clan Moulder creation is functionally irrelevant. Throughout the Unclean has 3 arms, warpstone jammed in his eye, and in his own words, endless hunger.
Warpstone shoved in his eye. Okay, that's something, I thought the extra arm was, kind of quirky, but warpstone in your eye, I mean, that's cool. Of course, we have throughout the Unclean to thank for the creation of the Hellpit Abomination. What? For most other races, warpstone is just an instant bad or neutral mutation. For Skaven, it's mundane or positive. They use it for coins to nukes. Yeah, and they just use it to destroy other people. Skaven sometimes use Giselles, aka giant sniper rifles with warpstone bullets. So if you survive a fist-sized bullet, you'll mutate in horrific ways that you wish it killed you. That's terrifying. Think of it as a permanent monocle. Oh, God. Yes, I like looking at it, but how can I see it closer? Shoves into eye socket, like, hello?
The Pack Lord of Moulder's Verminkin, who sits on the Council of 13, is technically 2 rats sharing one lumpy, misshapen, mutated body. They frequently argue with each other and would no doubt try to kill each other if it weren't for the fact that aside from the 2 different heads, they've all got the same organs. Fratricide is a lot harder to pull off when it's also suicide. One last thing of note is that Clan Moulder is the best place to be a physically frail Skaven. If you have brains, they'll support your endeavors, not because they actually care about you, but because a smart, if physically weak Master Moulder can still create profitable monsters. To be absolutely clear, this is not charity. If you can't immediately prove you're smart enough or capable enough in some way to make up for being a runt, you are now food for someone's monsters. But if you can quickly prove your brain is worth the lack of brawn, they'll probably keep you around.
Okay, well that one was kind of unhinged. It can't get any worse than Frankenstein rats, right? Slaps back of hideous abomination. This baby will kill your enemies, you, any nearby siblings, and anything else it can find. It's just like, huh. What else are you gonna shove in your eyes? I don't know. I didn't think about it. Nothing, hopefully, in her eyes. Total War, throughout the Unclean will literally just swallow a giant piece of warpstone like pills. So that's great. It's just a little, like, little pills. These guys are fun to play. Master Splinter, the Eshin, Clan Eshin. Okay, so all right, time for ninjas.
Master Splinter hasn't been the same since he took a trip to the Chaos Wastes and started smoking crack. Clan Eshin is the stealthy branch of the Skaven Under Empire, specializing in everything from hit-and-run tactics and war to high-stakes espionage and assassination. Calling any one Skaven clan the most feared is tricky because they can all do horrid things to you when crossed, but the threat of a Clan Eshin assassination is something that always hangs over any properly paranoid Skaven warlord's head. Founded by Lord Visktrin, who never got to see the heights his clan would reach on account of running into a dragon, Clan Eshin's forebears traveled far to the east.
Did they just say with a dragon? Hold on, I missed that.
Paranoid Skaven warlord's head. Founded by Lord Visktrin, who never got to see the heights his clan would reach on account of running into a dragon, Clan Eshin's forebears traveled far to the east to Cathay and Nip.
That's kind of sad. Imagine being at the height of your career and then just ran into a dragon. Deletion. Yeah, I got killed by a dragon. Sag. We'll never know.
There, for reasons that I simply cannot fathom, some of them decided it was a good idea to teach these mangy, rabid, evil rats how to be ninja assassins. There was even lore that at one point a Clan Eshin member was an advisor to Cathay. The Dragon Emperor must have been on a bender when that was allowed. For a while they were thought lost to Skaven kind, but after a few hundred years they slunk back into Skaven blight, set up a den, and became the chief spies and assassins of Skavendom. Clan Eshin, much like the rest of the Skaven, have 2 modes, but they're particularly pronounced with these guys. They have comedy mode and utter horror mode. For the former, where else but Gotrek and Felix displays it the best. When some Clan Eshin gutter runners tried to assassinate Gotrek and Felix, they barely made it to Gotrek. And this was in the early books, so it was before Felix was properly terrifying in his own way. Even in spite of that, the entire assassination attempt reads like a Three Stooges bit. Rats tripped over each other, tripped over furniture, tripped over Felix, tripped onto their weapons. The entire event probably only took about 20 seconds, and by the end of it, almost all of the rats were dead. Their leader escaped, only to later be obliterated by Thanquol for the crime of being vaguely annoying to Thanquol. On the other hand, enter Deathmaster Snikch. Deathmaster Snikch is like a rat version of the alien from Alien. He wields 3 swords of warpstone to super kill enemies dead. He can supposedly teleport using shadows and come out of them at will. He supposedly once assassinated an Empire official, yet the guy's door was locked the whole time and that was the only entrance, so how the hell did he get in?
He went through the shadows, obviously. Come on, he just said that. He could teleport through the shadows.
He supposedly can be anywhere at any time, and you'll never know. All of this supposedly talk is intentionally cultivated by Clan Eshin's higher-ups, because it adds to his terrifying reputation. Clan Eshin assassins completely unrelated to Snikch will carve his mark on the bodies of their targets just to further his legend. Presumably they don't complain about this because they're worried Snikch might pay them a visit for trying to rise above their station. For all that they are assassins, they do still have units to play as large.
Unlike other clan who kill each other to increase their rank, most Eshin Skaven compete in number of contract. Yeah, it kind of seems like they're just like assassins for hire at this point. That's what I'm kind of getting. Came up through the toilet, I bet. You know what? That could be what happened. Snitch have never 100% success rate in lore. Waits like for deleting someone. Skinch pull up a 0 to make sure people know who did it. I mean, they seem like they kind of know what they're doing.
Groups on tabletop. Night Runners are skirmishers that have been given the barest amount of stealth training and taught how to throw shurikens and pointy rocks at people. This training, mind you, includes stealing money from blind homeless people, and it has been noted that sometimes these homeless are apparently not only not blind, but proficient in martial arts. Clan Eshin is either rampantly incompetent on most levels or exclusively trains against out-of-work D&D adventurers. Feel free to assume whichever is funnier to you is true. Gutter Runners, meanwhile, are when a Clan Eshin rat can just about grasp concepts like actually sneaking, and are therefore much more dangerous. They can be armed with more than just weapons. Poison is a common thing for them to carry, as well as nets to trip enemies up on the battlefield or in their rooms to make the kill all the easier. And of course, a full-blown Eshin assassin is where the jump from goofy rat person to Michael Myers if he was a rat occurs. In day-to-day life, Clan Eshin deals in information gathering as much as killing people. Information is a valuable commodity, especially in the treachery-ridden Skaven world, and Clan Eshin will sell out their services to spy on rival Skaven warlords to anyone who can meet their price. Of course, they also may be on the payroll of the guy you're trying to spy on, so caution is always warranted. The Council of 13 makes frequent usage of Eshin services, spying on those near and far for their interests. Their den in Skavenblight is a fairly humble thing, but no one knows what goes on inside of it. Any Skaven that wanders too close tends to disappear, and you can assume all sorts of Home Alone-style traps with a lot more lethality in mind, absolutely.
I mean, considering they carry, like, they said, like, toxic weapons and nets and stuff, I would not be shocked.
Litter the place. They appear incredibly unified by Skaven standards, but that might just be because we rarely see the inner machinations of the clan. When a Clan Eshin character makes an appearance in a book, they're just as cowardly as other Skaven, so they'll certainly still sell out their fellows to save their own skin. It might just be we don't see the dissent and infighting common in other Skaven clans because they hide it very well. It's a lot harder to be horror movie villains when everyone knows your group is just as full of bumbling morons as theirs is. Clan Eshin overall is a fairly mysterious clan with only so much to be discussed, but I want to make it clear that they are to the rest of the Skaven an utterly terrifying force.
Which is crazy if you think about it, because in the other clans, they were saying like, oh yeah, they have all the funky little green glowing rocks and they create all the weapons. And it's like, oh yeah, but this guy can delete you. And it's pretty much guaranteed. Pretty much guaranteed. Like all the other rat races and clans are like terrified of them. Eshin also seems to be much worse powerful in the east of Warhammer world. He seems kind of like overpowered in here. Like, oh yeah, if you're on the list, you're just gone. 07, like you don't stand a chance. Skaven's non-poison weapons will never have been cleaned, so if they don't kill you, whatever nasties are on their blades eventually will. Ew. Your type is the abyssal. It's all good, Minty. Don't worry. I'm picking up what you're putting down. Remember, Skinch's 3 blades are coated in poison. I would not be shocked. Eshin on the upper end of skill are terrifying. Yeah, it just seems like, oh, if someone hires them, you're just 07'd. Like it's just you're just gone. Like you don't even stand a chance. He's just too powerful.
When the Second Skaven Civil War broke out, they were able to not only remain neutral in the conflict as a whole, but hired themselves out to all sides and make a...
That's hilarious. They remain neutral in the war, but you can hire them. Haha, keck.
profit without getting retaliated on en masse. In the first book of Thanquol's omnibus, he regarded the local ruler of Clan Eshin in Under Altdorf as the greatest single threat he had to face, at least in terms of combatants. That is how terrifying the Skaven of Clan Eshin are to the rest of the Under Empire. And though it was end times nonsense, it was Deathmaster Snyx who snuck into Thorgrim's escape chamber and killed him because he left the door open. They
killed him because he... Wow. 07. Got him. Stealth assassins are usually not the people to cross in general. Yeah, honestly, it just seems like terrifying. Like, oh yeah, they had a war against other people, but they stayed out of it because then everyone would have just been gone. That's what it pretty much seems like. Since has the stats to prove the point in the TT, he really is terrifying foe to Runa, even with other hero choices. He seems like completely overpowered, which is crazy. Eshin assassins can be stopped and beaten, but unless you're a named character, the chance is smaller. I feel like they're just like the strongest right now. I mean, obviously I don't know about the other ones, but he just seems like impossible. They're true neutral. The reason their clan name starts with E is because everyone is catching these hands. I love that. These hands are rated E for everyone. Dragons are very good at wrecking people. Oh, I mean, there was the one rat thing that died to a dragon as well. I think it depends. End times lore is dumb. They were just making up reasons to kill off characters. Sag. The High King of the Dwarfs? Wait, who? Thorgrim is a dwarf, by the way? Oh, okay.
They really can be anywhere, and you may only know you've been targeted by Eshin when an assassin comes to snuff out your life. Oh, and they also really love poison. There's a rat named Ricketick that's compiled a way to kill almost everything in the Warhammer world, mostly with poison. Funny thing is, he sat down with some Imperial scholar and casually told him all about his knowledge. I don't think he even killed the guy afterwards. He just really loved talking about his craft, and his craft happened to be poisoning people. That's oddly sweet, isn't it? At least by Skaven standards.
Pestilens. Okay, wow, this is okay. Oh, Ricketick is great, awesome guy. Yeah, it seemed really interesting. I was like, oh, okay. Passionate fella. If we want to take care of Eshin assassins, numbers are your friend. They're trained for one-on-one fights. They're not so good in group fights. Oh, that makes a lot of sense. Yeah. Okay, we love an autistic rat. What?
This is the other Skaven clan that provokes a sense of fear in Skaven outside of it. However, where Clan Eshin does it by having the potential to jump scare you at any given moment, the fear of Clan Pestilens comes from two distinct sources. One is their defining feature, that being their diseases, but the other is something I bet you didn't expect to hear.
I was gonna say, I already see like the things on it. It seems mutated, so what's the other thing?
Shouted outside of 40k or maybe by witch hunters. Heresy. The most obvious trait about Clan Pestilens is their disease-ridden everything. The origins of the clan come during a period of expansion and migration. Their forebearers, whose original clan name is lost to time, ventured under the oceans themselves for generations. This was generations in Skaven terms granted, so like a couple of decades, but that's still a pretty decent amount of time. When they finally arrived at their destination, they realized across the ocean lay the land of Lustria. Lustria, the home of the lizardmen, is not exactly receptive to outside guests. The land itself is a murderous jungle, like Katakan and 40k, if the whole thing was also magical. Plus, the lizardmen are space marine-sized lizard people that can and will rip you apart for showing up. They lucked out on avoiding the lizardmen, but when they arrived at the ruined city of Ketsa, the local disease ravaged the clan. At a certain point, barely 100 of them remained, and from here the lore diverges into what I personally call the Fun Skaven route and the GW Hard-On for Chaos route. In the Fun Skaven route, they began worshipping the diseases that ravaged them.
I was gonna say, they're going down a slippery slope here. Oh gosh, these guys suck to fight in Vermintide. They seem like they would be a pain. I like how with each Skaven clan, Skaven, wow, words hard. It's like, oh, this is bad. But wait until you hear the next one. Oh, you thought this was bad? Oh, but the next one. Oh, and this one? Yeah, it's pretty bad. You're pretty much guaranteed to be, you know, Control-Alt-Deleted. But the next one, oh my gosh. Heretic Rats only in Warhammer. God, I love this setting. This is a little funky. The totally not Nurgle worshipping rats. Holy bananas, I can speak good.
If these diseases were ravaging them so, it must be the Horned Rat's will, and so they would instead embrace this disease as the true aspect of their deity, that of a filthy, disease-ridden carrier of destruction. In the Hard-On for Chaos route, there was a great unclean one under the city. They started worshipping
Unclean one mentioned. Wah.
as an aspect of the Horned Rat. Same end result, but one is more Skaven insanity and an alternative to Nurgle if you like diseases, whereas the other is more of chaos actually being the origin the whole time. Regardless, their numbers grew. They cultivated quite the knowledge of disease, and after a while they returned back to the old world and Skavendom proper. When they showed back up, they immediately demanded things like territory and breeding rights because Skaven are awful, massive amounts of warpstone as tribute because Skaven are greedy, and a seat on the Council of 13 because you might as well shoot for the moon. Predictably, everyone told Clan Pestilens to piss off. Rather less predictably for the Skaven, Pestilens responded with biological warfare and swarming them with plague monks.
Obviously would make sense, although I'm trying to think, like, if you're like, hey, I need land and, like, all this stuff, and you stroll up looking like this, and I'm assuming it could be spread to other Skaven, you know what I mean? Like, if it's, like, airborne or something, it's probably a really bad time. He does until Harkon starts popping off. Harkon? So wonder how these Skaven dudes don't get wiped out completely, becoming extinct. I just, like, they keep fighting. I don't know. To me, look at that teeth. The teeth are a little funky. I don't know how they eat with that. Don't forget the breeding rights. Yeah, that's true. That's true. Forgot that. My bad. Skaven are awful when it comes to multiplying. Don't look up female Skaven. I don't think I will. Thank you very much. Yeah. You're assuming the leaders of clans felt threatened. Yeah, but, like, I mean, that's true. They're all crazy. So you're like, oh, yeah, you're crazy, but I'm also crazy. There are things, disease, it spreads and does so hard. Yeah, so, like, imagine being like, we need some land. I'd be like, here you go. Stay in that little area. Do not move out of that area. That's what you get. You stay in your little sealed off zone so you don't spread the disease more.
Initially, it was expected that Clan Pestilens could be swiftly dealt with via the old reliable method of rattling gun spam. Then the disease got worse. Then Clan Pestilens obliterated an entire clan in the Southlands. Then hundreds of clans switched over to Pestilens' side. Of course, this is still a Skaven civil war. Much like their engineering, things will go wrong at any possible chance, and in this case it occurred when Clan Eshin had nearly every clan warlord of those that sided with Pestilens assassinated. With this rather upsetting turn of events, Pestilens pleaded for a meeting. It was granted, and the Lord of Pestilens, Plague Lord Nurglich, even managed to actually reach the Council of 13 through the swarm of assassins they sent his way. He was allowed to challenge for a seat on the council, and when he threw the weakest council member off the top of a tower, Clan Pestilens was allowed a seat and became one of the great clans.
Yeah, just throw off the weakest member, boom, you're in. That's just simple. Just find the weakest link, goodbye, and then, see, that's how you get on the council, easy. Female Skaven are horrible, I don't want to know. Didn't Penn send you some biowarfare to your house and it's a rat? To be fair, it wasn't Penn, but kind of. I mean, Penn sent stuff, but it wasn't Penn who contaminated it.
They would go on to be responsible for the near destruction of both the Empire and Bretonnia through the Black Plague and Red Pox respectively, though both examples eventually also burned through the Skaven ranks at the height of their campaigning and eventually resulted in a second Skaven civil war. This one was a result of the Horned Rat personally coming in to make sure everyone almost started back.
Also, dumb question, is the Horned Rat kind of like the leader of all the clans of the Skaven, or like, because he comes up, but I don't think they mentioned it specifically, so I just want to know a little bit more. Weakest member of the council does not mean weak. To be fair, it's impressive to do. I mean, being able to single it out and get a seat on the council is kind of crazy. Skaven god. Oh, okay. I was gonna say, because I was like, they keep mentioning it, and I feel like I should know what it is. His nails are kind of slay though. Like, come on, look at that. Look at those runes on the nails. That's kind of. It's kind of pog.
Behaving, but Pestilens kept their status and power they had gained up to this point. Yes, by the way, you heard that right. The Black Death in Warhammer Fantasy was caused by rats.
Oh.
Just so happened to be on purpose this time around. Clan Pestilens is perhaps the Skaven clan least concerned with personal glory. Oh, to be sure, they will take credit for themselves, but at least amongst characters like Lord Skrulk, they'll try and do things for the glory of Clan Pestilens and themselves. To them, the Horned Rat is especially worshipped, as he is their sickly master who will bring ruin to all those who deny his plagued gifts. Working somewhat together will bring the ascension of not only him, of course, but Clan Pestilens as well. Okay. This is where the second part of fear against them comes in. Most Skaven view this as a highly heretical stance to take, breaking tradition with how the Horned Rat truly is to be viewed. The problem is Clan Pestilens is, if nothing else, powerful enough to keep themselves around after two massive civil wars, so one way or another, calling them heretics in the street and trying to kill them will just result in that Skaven's death. The other more obvious thing is that they're so disgustingly filthy and disease-ridden that standing near them can cause you to melt into sludge. Non-pestilent Skaven are no safer from this than other races, so it's also for practical purpose that this clan is kept at an arm's reach. Clan Pestilens will occasionally try and cook up some super plague to infect the world with, such as with the Red Pox or Black Death. They tried it in Nuln, but that was during a Gotrek and Felix novel, so you can guess how that panned out for them. When it's time to come out in force, however, they rush down their enemy with countless infected rats that are actually bolstered by their diseases, and the rabid fur...
Wait, is he holding a little, like, actual rat in his hands? Because they're talking about, like, spreading diseases, and I'm like, wait a minute. Oh, man, so they just strolled up, like, yeah, here you go, here's the plague, nice nails, rat god, you slay. I mean, the nails are really cool. The dreaded crack, rat ambush, and vermin side, yeah, they're a little quirky. Showing Billy the Brood. No, don't hurt the little guy. They infect those reeds. No, he's just a little guy. I mean, they're already infected, so I guess they're kind of okay. But rat for the cauldron. No, dunk the little rat in the plague juice and send it forth. No, he's just a little guy. He's so young. Don't hurt him. No.
Of Clan Pestilens means that they'll run away far later than most other Skaven would. In the end times, this is how they took down the Lizardmen. The magical defenses set up were perfectly tailored to prevent any demon from invading the continent. Okay. They were not, however, set up to prevent millions of rats fresh out of Asmongold's basement from invading the land of the lizards.
Oh.
For a final note on them, the obvious connection I brought up pretty quickly. Nurgle. There's a weird relation.
So this is Nurgle? Oh, yeah, suddenly the baby diapers make a lot of sense now. Okay, I don't think I've ever seen a picture of Nurgle. Okay, well, of course Nurgle would be involved with the Skaven. Okay, here we go.
Between Pestilens and Nurgle, and indeed how much he's involved is up for debate. There is that whole thing about a great unclean one essentially creating Clan Pestilens, and for God's sakes, the leader of Clan Pestilens has to my knowledge always been called Nurglich, followed by whatever number of Nurglich we're on. On the other hand, the Horned Rat has repeatedly entered the mortal world, and Clan Pestilens is still allowed to exist. You might...
No, it's the Great Unclean One. Oh, okay, Great Unclean One, but I think he probably looks similar. Okay, I don't think I've ever seen a picture of Nurgle. The Chaos God of Rotten Pestilence. I mean, it would make sense. Papa Nurgle loves you. That's what I've heard. I don't fully understand that one, but I heard Nurgle loves everybody. A Great Unclean One, but they made it his image. What Nurgle looks like outside of fan art. Really? They wouldn't have a picture for Nurgle? That's kind of sad. Nurgle and Great Unclean Ones and Nurglings look like each other. Man, but they don't have anything? Nobody knows what Nurgle looks like. Most think that the Chaos Gods look similar to the greater daemons. Huh. Call him Big Papa. Nurgle has a wife, huh? There's no official art of any of the Chaos Gods. Why not? That'd be so sick. Man. There are no pictures of the forged images of how they might look. No real official pictures from GW. I want to know. I'm emailing GW right now. Dear GW, please. I need images because I can't think of them on my own. Please send help. There aren't any modern pictures of the Chaos Gods. Just fan and old stuff that's probably not right anymore. That's sad. That's sad. Bodies in a single look is for lesser beings, but like, come on, it would be cool. Be cool. Nurgle sounds like someone with pinchable cheeks. I mean, we've compared the baby's poopy diapers to Nurgle, so you're gonna get sued. Don't, huh?
I'd say that maybe Nurgle's too powerful for him to interfere, but Nurgle was at home and the Horned Rat was in their face. I see no reason that he couldn't interfere if that's what he truly wanted to, and get rid of the clan. So instead, here's some ideas for you to think about. Maybe Nurgle did start Pestilens, but as a disgusting asshole rat, the Great Horned Rat sort of adopted them, and now they feed him. Maybe that was never the case, and the Great Horned Rat was always their daddy. Or maybe it's a sort of team project between Nurgle and the Horned Rat. Skaven have worked with others before, and they joined up with Chaos in the end times to save their own skins. Of course, betrayal is inevitable if that's the case, but that's just more Skaven shenanigans to be had. And whatever the specifics, Clan Pestilens seems to be here to stay. Keep your toilets close by, friends, because diarrhea is sure to follow these rats' footsteps.
True. Whoa, the last one, Clan Morse. Oh, is that the last one? Conclusion, and then, okay, all right. Last Skaven one. All right, let's go. I don't know. See, here's the thing. I don't know if I have a favorite so far. They all kind of scare me. They all kind of scare me a little bit. I can't wait for this one to be even worse somehow. I can't wait.
The final Skaven clan we'll talk about is Clan Moors. Now I'm gonna describe them to you when the thought might creep into your mind that, holy shit, these are Skaven good guys. False. Incorrect. Remove that notion from your mind. There are no Skaven good guys. Such a thing does not...
He had me going there in the first half, I'm not gonna lie. I was like, oh, Skaven good guy. Oh, okay. Alright, Pog. Alright, cool. I should have known.
not exist. The Skaven of Clan Moors are, however, perhaps the closest thing they've ever come to having something resembling a functioning code of ethics and morals. Best way to put it is while the Skaven as a whole are chaotic evil, Clan Moors is lawful evil. The Skaven of Clan Moors, even those from once rival clans, usually end up praising the leader of Clan Moors quickly, Lord Nodwell. As a member of the Council of 13, it's a safe, if wrong, assumption to make that Nodwell is using all sorts of tactics, from fear to bribery and coercion, or even magical means to keep his clan so loyal to him. In reality, Clan Moors has discovered something the rest of the Skaven have yet to conceptualize. If you treat your basic clan rats with something almost resembling decency, they will support you over the assholes who throw them into the grinder with a rusty pipe and—
That stonks. Yeah, imagine treating them half decent. That's a stonks move right there. That's a leader move. Clan Moors, the rats that live behind your local kebab shop. They feed on all the meat and will step apart if you look at them the wrong way. Oh. With strength rank 1 around turn 60. Wait, is that good or bad? Just checked. Indeed, minor. Oh, that's something. Rat stonks. Yeah, like, oh, like imagine just treating someone slightly better and then they'll be loyal. Lamau. Decent living conditions. What a novel idea. Why has no one ever thought about this before?
A command to either fight and maybe die, or run and definitely die. And if you arm them almost halfway acceptably, they can fight better. In Clan Moors, if you can be in any way useful, they will find a use for you, and rewards to fit that use. Only traitorous or truly feeble Skaven will be found as Skaven slaves amongst Clan Moors. Treachery, speaking of, is actually frowned upon. If you stab your superior in the back and ruin a battle plan, you're getting sent to the slave pits. Of course, if your commander is actually incompetent, or you can make him appear incompetent, then by all means see him killed. Clan Moors aren't good guys, remember. There are still plenty of Skaven slaves to be found there. It mostly reminds me of a Skaven version of Spartan-style training in regards to how they view treachery. If you can get away with it, you're probably more cunning than the last guy and deserve the spot. But for the
Wait, random question, because I'm looking at this now. Although this is, I don't know, it's kind of crazy. Give the rats grilled cheese and wall candy. It was just like, just be loyal. That's pretty much what I'm getting right now. Are Skaven the same height approximately as humans? Because that's is that a elf head? And it kind of seems similar. So they're just like human height relatively? No? Okay, because he's got an elf head, and I was wondering in relation, how's it go? Roughly, yes, about. Oh, storm vermin can be as tall. They vary in size. They're like dwarf size. Oh, okay. A little shorter, I think, but they're mostly hunched over. Skaven are technically taller than people, but hunched over, more like 4 feet, 4.5 feet. Okay. Because I would say this guy looks like about the height of this elf head that they have. Oh, oof. Sorry about Nightbot deleting it. About your size, around 3 foot on average. Wow. You thought that was funny. Yeah. Most Skaven are 4'6" to 5'2" if they come in 7 feet tall. Yeah, because I was gonna say, looking at this like headpiece, it's about the same height as the rat head. And then I was like, I can see their body here, but maybe this guy's just really quick as a big boy. Oh, so it's just this guy in particular. I'd have to see them compared to like the guys at the bottom. Storm vermin, they're human sized, but most Skaven are small. Okay, first word is black lizard. Sorry, Nightbot, got you.
Non-Skaven slaves, Clan Moors is downright accommodating. Even the basic clan rats are allowed to live in decent-ish barracks and are given weapons and proper training. This has resulted in several things going for them that have caused Clan Moors to have a rather triumphant rise to power. In-house, Clan Moors quickly gains the loyalty of any Skaven they capture. Those that surrender immediately are allowed to become members of Clan Moors, and when they see the benefits it offers, they're happy to join. Because unwanted treachery is met with severe punishment, most of the Skaven in Clan Moors behave themselves more often than not. Out of house, part of the allure of Clan Moors is that a Skaven can hope for a better life. An actual proper career path of doing your job and being promoted through the ranks is entirely possible. It's worked so well that there's worries amongst the other Council of 13 members that even if they have Nodwell assassinated, Clan Moors will just pop out another Skaven to replace him and things will continue on as normal for Moors.
I was gonna say, I'm planning an assassin for it, but it just seems like they kind of have They kind of have the most put together, whereas like the other clans were like, oh, they could just delete each other, keck them out. This one's like, oh, well, they kind of a little bit organized and they kind of know what they're doing. They wear red armor like this. They're around the height of a human. Oh, okay, that makes sense.
There's also the morale drainer of other Skaven realizing who they're fighting. Because more Skaven are actually trained, they tend to fight far more effectively and for far longer without routing. This has in turn given them some good early victories that give them a reputation as fierce combatants. This in turn makes people afraid of Clan Moors because they have a reputation for being fierce combatants, which is again at least partially earned. So when Clan Moors comes knocking, many lesser clans will outright surrender. This not only bolsters Clan Moors with more Skaven that will soon be trained to Clan Moors standard, but is yet another victory for Clan Moors to wave around and cow other Skaven into submission with. Their greatest feat yet has undoubtedly been their conquest of the lower levels of Carrick 8 Peaks. Known as the City of Pillars to the Skaven, it's become a vital hub of transportation across the Under Empire. Clan Moors controls at least the lower levels and will make any Skaven attempting to cross it or set up shop pay handsomely. It also means they're constantly fighting both night goblins and dwarfs, owning the skills of this clan's military even further. Speaking of, when deployed to battle, Moors can do a little bit of everything, but they're most well known for their regimented and elite soldiers. Clan Moors' storm vermin are a cut above the rest, and even their lowly clan rats can fight in something resembling the cohesion of an Empire State Troop company. Were it not for the end times, Clan Moors would very likely have been either a driving force in Skaven society for change, or at the very least the catalyst of yet another Skaven civil war. And if you don't mind me saying, I would bet that Clan Moors would be the first time the powers to be of Skaven Blight didn't come out on top.
True.
Clan Moors are not good guys. At their kindest, they don't view their fellows as comrades, but as tools to be cultivated, which is still leagues above other Skaven. Such as Queek Headtaker's relationship with Nodwell, that of a prized attack dog to be thrown at his enemies. But once again, it's far better than what the rest of Skavendom has.
Yeah, I was gonna say, it kind of doesn't seem bad. I mean, I know they're evil, but like, guys are probably the closest thing the Skaven have to adult supervision. They kind of seem like they have everything together. Like, oh, if you stab someone in the back, you're gone. But, you know, you could work your way up to the top and kind of be like a warrior. It's kind of cool. How to step away to miss the sick boys. We're still on the, oh, I forgot their name. Starts with an M.
Has to offer. As for Age of Sigmar, all the great clans have become types of clans. So now it isn't just Clan Eshin, for instance, but the Clans Eshin. They all still act the same way, though. A Skaven is still a Skaven, even if they're...
Yeah, the Moors. I don't know why my brain just short circuits. I'm just like, haha, pretty armor, Clan Moors. Ugh. I'd have to see all the names and I'd be able to figure them out based on what they look like. They're lawful evil. They have rules that are actually enforced, but they're not good. Oh, yeah, no, they're definitely terrible, but like, they kind of seem like they kind of got to get more together than the other ones where it's like, oh, well, if you're really smart and you have an invention, I might steal it because I want to be known for that invention instead, even though I don't even know what the heck I'm doing. And I just deleted you so I could steal your, like, that's crazy work.
Their branding has been diluted just a bit. The only odd man out amongst these clans is Clan Moors, who seem to have vanished. That being said, the clans Verminous seem to be the replacement, and indeed have the same basic shtick of Skaven clan that has better normal troops, so maybe they just rebranded themselves to celebrate the new setting. And those are the major clans of the Skaven. Some a bit more regimented, some a bit more technological, all complete and utter assholes. And remember, even the weakest of Skaven clans can be found right underneath your house at this very moment.
Yippee, they could be under my house. If you had to live as a Skaven, definitely want to be in Clan Moors. Yeah, I feel like you have more survivability and then you learn how to actually like fight and stuff. They have it more together. That was a good one. That was a good one.
Thank you as always to my wonderful channel members.
Yippee! Okay, I know there's more at the end. I see it already, so we're gonna wait.
Just that little bit prouder than all the rest. If you'd like to support the channel, feel free to subscribe or become a member. Either way,
rabbit under my house, impossible. Oh, it's possible. You live in New York, you're the 100% under your house. What? I'm under your house, the sewer's building a WFGT. Haha, pen you would, Lamau. Still more ways than one, still psychotic. Oh, 100%. They're still crazy, but they're crazy, but still kind of sort of have it together. Clan Skryre, Science, FBI, Clan Moulder, Frankenstein, Clan Eshin, Sneaky, Sneaky, Clan Pestilens, Sick, literally, Clean Moors, Unite and War. Yeah, that's like a TLDR type of thing. It's pretty much what it is. Okay, alright, waiting for this. Waiting for this. Denver cheese. Okay. I see something at the end. Thanks, autocorrect, you bit. Yeah, heck you, autocorrect. Stinky. I'm trying to think of the coolest Skaven one, but I don't know. They all seem like unique in their own way. Okay, people waiting.
All right, you gotta pick one. You either have to fight one storm vermin or 10 Skaven slaves on the verge of death by starvation. I'm taking the storm vermin. Logically, he's probably quite well fed and could kill me, but I bet I can talk my way out of it. Not by appealing to his morals or anything. God, no, he's still a Skaven. But I bet I can BS my way into convincing him there's a gray seer right behind him, or that his stash of warp tokens has been discovered. Either way, I can then get out of there. Those 10 Skaven slaves, meanwhile, may all go down in a single hit, but they're gonna be vicious and ready to die for the slightest bit of food, which would be me. Even if I do win that fight, I'm coming out of it with rabies at the least.
True. Yeah, I don't...
Even if it's gonna be vicious.
I don't know. I don't think I can win against either of them. I don't think I'd be able to convince anyone. Torn between Skryre and Pestilens. On one hand, Pestilens is really cool. On the other hand, Skryre is hilarious. I just think they all have their own little quirks. It makes them interesting. Storm Vermin never be able to take out 10 at the same time. That's true. But, like, you wouldn't be able to really convince them either. I'd just be like, 07. I'm cooked regardless. I got nothing. I got nothing, gamers. Wow, okay. Well, lots of Skaven. They all have their own quirks just like our rat. Exactly. Where your cat, you should have a bonus against them. I mean, in theory, yeah, but they're scary rats. They're not just normal rats. They're advanced rats. All right, let's go over to just chatting really quick. We'll kind of wrap it up a little bit. Let me... Okay, no, okay, we're closing this. Oh, I forgot to close out the screen. It's fine. Storm Vermin are actually not that strong. They're like professional soldiers, so it's realistic to beat one. Whoa, that's crazy, though. What I wouldn't do for a Bone Ripper. I'd be afraid either way. Even if it was like the weakest Skaven, I don't think I'd stand a chance. I don't think I'd make it for real, for real. Okay, well that's where we're gonna end up today. Wow. I wonder what I'm gonna look at next time, because the Skaven are interesting, right? And now I'm like, well, what are the other things? Well, Clan Pestilens and what are your faves? Love them or body horror gubbers? I mean, they're interesting, which makes it like, it's a pretty fun stream for us to catch live. I appreciate it. Storm Vermin are quite built and trained, but they're still Skaven. Yeah, I feel like I'd be terrified either way, and I wouldn't make it. Like, they're just too powerful. I wouldn't be able to do it. So tomorrow I will be on Twitch. We're gonna do the Cult of the Lamb update. If you guys want to join in, you can join my funky little, not a cult. Definitely not a cult. Definitely not. With the new update. Hopefully I catch up in time. I appreciate you goobers hanging out with me. Eventually these videos will be edited and posted soon. I think Tetra is working on them today. Yeah, the average person would die. Yeah, I wouldn't be able to do it. But thank you, goobers, for hanging out with me. I hope you have a good rest of your day. Make sure to drink water. Go get some food if you haven't already. And I'll see you tomorrow. Bye, chat. Bye, 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 bye. Bye, 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 bye.